When did you become a VTuber? Today. Duck. Oh! Oh, I'm saying that I wouldn't tell you a secret because you tell everybody. You right, though. Ew, look at all the gross goopy goops. Whatever the frick they are.
Oh, look at it! What a chunk!
It is what you call a plastic in the shape of a long tubular stick.
You mean a straw? Oh. Help me. Help me, friend! So how quickly am I gonna die if I just walk out into the...
Don't fight me! We're not supposed to move!
Wait for me, guys! Wait for me! Wait! Well, frick, step on me. Don't impede our vacationing or blow up these islands. I will stab you.
Yeah!
Do I dare look at you? Long arm's gonna come and find his way in. I don't think I'm there, right?
Okay, I'm there! Oh my gosh, I'm in a hole! Wait!
It always bothers me when there's no shampoo by a kitchen sink. Wait, what did I say? Did I say soup? Did I say soup instead of soap? Shampoo? What's worse? Shampoo? Please tell me I said soap this time.
I said shampoo! No!
Can we come? Like this? You want me to stop looking at you like this? Good spooks tonight? Oh, ah! Are we okay? Are we safe? Does his arms reach into here? Ah! Oh my gosh. You know what I do want? I want tits. The Twitch integrated throwing system. Roses are red, violets are blue. Omae wo no shinderu. Nani? Oh, you slide on! This is my first limited character constellation. Shut up! It's been a little bit tiring. What the? I'm dead! Why am I not dead?
Say hello to my little friend.
What the balls? Are you kidding me?
Oh.
Has already managed to make contact with the divine.
Oh no! Big traveler. Big traveler. Get down! You better not know what to do.
Tea parties are a must for the well-mannered.
Hi!
If you'd like to learn
Of
the
course,
proper
as soon as I
etiquette,
switch
I'd be
over
happy to
screens,
teach you.
Furina, it decides to talk. But hi, everybody. How are you guys doing on this Thursday? I hope you all are having a good day. Once again, apologies that there was no stream yesterday. Life just be like that sometimes, you know? Hi, Quentin. Hi, Arrow. How are you guys doing? I hope you all are having a good day. I can talk. Wow. I haven't talked in a few in a little bit, as you could probably tell. But it's okay. We're here and we're comfy. Why, good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, Lunar Dragon. How are you doing? How is your day going? I need to get up early tomorrow. Oh my gosh, y'all. This is bad. I can barely talk right now. I hope you're able to get a good night's rest whenever you can. Man, got cold old. What about you? That's a mood. I'm doing okay. I'm having fun with Furina. I honestly am too. Also, hi, LX After Dark. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well too. I'm surprisingly having a lot of fun with Furina too. Like, I've really enjoyed having her and running around the place as her. Which, speaking of, I guess I'll show off my Furina build just a little bit. As you can see, I got her up to 80. She has 33,000 HP. Her crit rate and crit damage is 63 and 131. Energy recharge is at 200 because I'm running, I have the Festering Desire on her and Energy Recharge Goblet. Also running a crit damage hat because I managed to get enough crit rate that I don't need a crit hat. So yeah, I honestly been a lot of fun. I still want to ascend her. Oh, in fact, I can. I forgot. I was grinding for this and I was like, oh, I got it all. I can ascend her. I forgot I can't do that. Hold on. We're going to the crafting bench. But yeah, anyway, I'm doing okay. I do apologize. I was not able to stream yesterday. It was just one of those days where I really wanted to. Like, I was sitting there, I was trying to psych myself up, but nothing I was doing was working. So I canceled the stream and I literally spent the entire time in bed. It was just, yeah, just how things go sometimes. So I do apologize. I really want to play more Tears of the Kingdom, but man, when the brain says no, sometimes you have to listen and not force through it. How many of you are excited for this year's The Game Awards? To be honest, not that much. Not that much. I'm excited to kind of see how things will play out, obviously, and I'm kind of excited for the game releases, and I'm excited for all of the drama that is going to come from the Game Awards of just people being mad about their games or games that didn't get picked and all this stuff. So I'm indifferent. The Game Awards is always just a popularity contest at the end of the day anyway, so I don't really hold it in high regard. You know, all I know is yes! Okay, I'm gonna talk about that in a bit, you Lunar Dragon. I'm so happy about that. Quentin, I'm running her on a freeze taser with Lynette, Kaya, and Kuki. Ooh, that actually sounds like a really good combo. But yes, that is like, I'll be 100% honest, that is the only thing I'm excited about when it comes to the Game Awards, is the fact that Iron Mouse got nominated. And for those who don't know, Iron Mouse is a VTuber, and she quite literally has changed the scope of Twitch streams, and she's affected my life, whether she will probably never know, but she's had such a positive impact on my life just about her story and all this stuff, and she's such a huge inspiration. So I doubt it, because even when the nomination got announced of Iron Mouse, there were still people who were like, that thing got nominated. It's like, well, there's a person behind the picture, by the way, that is actually a person. But there's just a lot of like negativity from an outsider's perspective on VTubers. So I want her to win so badly. And honestly, she's popular enough. I think she could, but it just kind of depends on, you know, on other people. Yeah. Got nominated for what? Oh, so the Game Awards, they have like this influencer like nomination where like a bunch of streamers and content creators got nominated. I'll be 100% honest, I don't know who the other content creators are that got nominated. I only know Iron Mouse. Iron Mouse is amazing. I agree. She's a huge inspiration. Some people see VTuber go, ew, anime weeb. Well, some people see VTuber, and especially if they're a female VTuber and are like, that's a man behind the screen, that's just using a voice changer. Especially if they happen to talk higher pitch. Like, for example, Iron Mouse does have a higher pitch voice. So there's some very ignorant people that are like, that's Iron Mouse must be a man behind the PNG who's just being weird. It's like, no, that's a woman behind the screen. Just happens to have a high pitched voice, you know? I know Quackity and PMG got nominated, that's it. I have seen those names around, but to be honest, I have no idea what it is. Because for some reason, it's so unfathomable that a woman could actually be a VTuber, right? And there's also this weird stereotype where people are like, well, if they're a VTuber, they must be ugly. Then that is not the case. Some people just prefer to be a VTuber than actually show their face. But again, VTubers have such a weird, like, I don't know what the word is, but there's like this misconception about VTubers. And you only really remember, as a VTuber, you only really remember the weird misconceptions people have about VTubers when something like this happens, when like Iron Mouse gets nominated and we're all like, yes, Iron Mouse is fantastic. And then the people who avoid VTubers or all this stuff just say some really weird things. Really weird things. So it's weird. But I'm rooting for her. And if she doesn't win, it's gonna be sad, but that is what it is. But I'm hoping she wins. She deserves it, man. Like, obviously I don't know everybody's life story that got nominated, but in my mind, I feel like Iron Mouse deserves it. After everything. She deserves it. Have you seen how crazy celebrities he is? I wouldn't want to show my face. Yeah, right? There's some... I will always remember horror stories of, like, fans when it comes to, like, content creators. Like, there is this one horror story of a fan that showed up to this one content creator couple. They showed up to their house and demanded to hang out with them. But they brought a gun, so they threatened to hang out with them and took them hostage so that they could spend time with them. And I'm like, that's weird. That's weird. That's weird. So, you know. Yeah, people are crazy. It could be buck wild, man. It could be buck wild. This year, 2 Nintendo games were nominated for not 1, 2. I'm happy about that. I know not everybody is. Like, I will be honest, I haven't played Wonder, so I don't know if it deserves the slot. Tears of the Kingdom, I think, is fair. But I don't know. I've said it before, but I'm a huge Nintendo fan, so I will say there was like this is like one of the gripes that I had. Obviously, there's so many amazing games that came out this year that aren't going to get noticed at all, right? But one thing that made me a little bit sad was, so Xenoblade 3 had DLC that came out earlier this year, right? And I had saw some people talking about that there was a chance it could be nominated, right? But there was all these people arguing of like, well, DLCs can't get nominated, so it probably won't, or whatever. And I'm like, that's fair. You know, it's Xenoblade 3 came out last year, and this DLC came out this year, so it kind of makes sense and all this stuff. But then the Cyberpunk DLC got nominated. And I'm like, so why couldn't that one? Why couldn't that game? But to be fair, the Xenoblade 3 DLC specifically caters to Xenoblade fans, and if a random person just picked it up out of the blue, it would make no sense to them, and it wouldn't be as good as it is to those who have been with the series for the long time. So I can see why I didn't get nominated, but I'm still like, if that got nominated, why can't other DLCs? Why didn't Octopath Travelers get their soundtrack nominated? I don't know. It's just a popularity contest at the end of the day. And even though it has all the big flashing lights, whatever is your game of the year, that's what matters. Let's see. I'm gonna make a prediction. Tears of the Kingdom will win Game of the Year because Breath of the Wild won back. Honestly, that's fair. It could. But you know what I really want to win is... This is gonna sound weird, but Final Fantasy 16 is one of them. I haven't played that game, but I want to. But the main reason I want it to win is because a lot of people critique JRPGs for some reason. Like, a lot of people are super critical of JRPGs, and I want it to win just to kind of in spite of that. So that's one. But I also want Baldur's Gate 3 to win. That was the other one. I really want... Those are my 2 votes. Even though I love Tears of the Kingdom, and I wouldn't be sad if it won, but I would like both those games to win, because also Baldur's Gate 3 is a really good game, and the devs are also like actively like listening to the fan base. They're actively working on the game, and it just is overall a really good, solid work environment, for the lack of better terms. So I would like them to get some recognition for all of their hard work that they put into that game. Is that enough? I might have to do one more. Hold on, let's check. Whoops. Looks like, yeah, one more. Okay. Ugh. Also, ever since, like, how some of the awards played out last year, I mean, and previous years, let's be real, don't take too much of what happens at the Game Awards to heart, I will say. I think Baldur's Gate 3's wider audience will pull it if Tears of the Kingdom is the competition. I think it's possible. Like, out of all of the nominations that I can recall, I think the ones that seriously have a chance of winning are Tears of the Kingdom and Baldur's Gate 3. Like I said, I'm rooting for Final Fantasy 16 just because I want it to win out of spite for the people that hate JRPGs. But those are the 2 that I can see winning, I think. And at the end of the day, it's a popularity contest, so it's gonna be pulled from the internet, but also like I think a panel of judges as well, or like their own selected stuff, whatever the frick. And at the end of the day, those people are probably going to go with what they heard the most about this year, which is quite a few games, but primarily I think Tears of the Kingdom and Baldur's Gate 3.
I didn't know you cared so much about me. Does that mean that you still need my power? But given the way I am now, there's a chance I won't be able to give you everything you need. All you really care about is me? In that case, then let us act out our future journey together.
Aw, cute. Hi, Revless. Thanks for stopping by. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. There's also one particular game that also got nominated for something. Are there any nominees that seem to be in the wrong category? You mean like Dave the Diver? That got nominated for an indie game? You mean Dave the Diver? Uh-oh! Quentin, you might have posted the link. I'm sorry. Furina is the best. I'm excited to do Furina's story quest so much today, dude. Like, I was one of those people that admittedly had like mixed feelings about her in the beginning. Like, I liked her, simultaneously didn't like her. But I think that's what they wanted to go for in the beginning. But then, obviously, after the Archon quest, I really enjoyed what they did, and I'm excited to learn more about her. Any game that's in the wrong category. Am I missing something? Is there another game? What am I missing? Are we talking about the Cyberpunk DLC, or I might need my memory jogged. What am I missing? Oh, for those curious, this is my Furina build so far. This is my flower. This is my feather. I have an energy recharge sands. And then HP, and then crit damage. So, I know it could be better. Like, I'm hoping... Here's the hard part is, like, I want more energy recharge on her in case I ever run her on a team by her as, like, the only Hydro unit. But I would really love to get HP sands on her and then a Hydro damage bonus. But I'm gonna need a lot of energy recharge, and I'm not getting that. There's a Motocon? Oh, that's weird. Sorry that happened, Quentin. I'm 90% sure she was written to be unlikable at first. That's how I feel. I think I'm just having a lot of the comments that I see online being like, well, I liked her since the beginning. That makes me superior. Which, I don't think anyone here has said that. But it's just like weird comments that I come across on like videos where people are like, I didn't like Furina at first, but then I liked her. And then they're always one person that's just like, I liked her since the beginning. I knew it was an act the whole time. And obviously you give your own voice to how those people sound. So whatever. But I will say, like, I think if people liked her in the beginning, that's fine, because that she fits a character stereotype that a lot of people do like in the story. Pizza Tower? Yeah, I saw that. I mean, here's the thing. I haven't delved deep into Pizza Tower, but I thought that nomination made sense. I managed to drown Furina because I did not play Genshin for so long. I forget too much stuff. That's fair. There's a lot in this game. Pizza Tower. I've seen people talk about Pizza Tower, and I've seen screenshots of Pizza Tower, but I haven't, like, checked it out myself. So on the surface level, I thought it made sense, but I haven't delved deep into it. Pretty sure most people were shocked that it got nominated. I wasn't. I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, can I up her talents at all? Oh, right. I'm gonna have to go grind Whopper Flowers. Oh my gosh. Wow, I did not realize how low I was on Whopper Flowers stuff. Because I was like, oh, I'll grind as much as I need, but I'm low on this. I'm gonna have to grind Whopper Flowers. When was the last time I fought a Whopper Flower in the overworld? At least it's not handguards, but still, that's surprising. Also, I have this crystal fly trap. I said it a few days ago. It's still cooking. Waffle flour. Yeah.
I'll think about it.
Oh, I don't think that's how your message got held for. I don't think that's. It takes like a week. Oh, I see.
Being too popular can be such
There'll
a
be an extra
hassle.
fee for that.
Who knew the people would adore
Okay,
me
you-
so
oh,
much?
that's what. Okay, it took me a while to see what your message was, Quentin. Okay.
Exactly. But none of them believe me.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'll think about it.
I know that message popped up late, but that was the message that got held. Yeah, like, there's nothing wrong with liking Furina in the beginning. I should be clear. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just there's some comments I've seen. Again, not here, but just like in like other content creators like comment section about Furina, where there's just some very aggressive people. It's you usually can only find them if you like look at the replies of certain comments, or if you do like newest first, you'll see some very aggressive opinions. Since the Game Awards is supposed to be a popularity contest, I won't be surprised if any game won anything. That's how I feel about the Game Awards. Like, sure, there's games I'm rooting for, but if it doesn't win, I'm not gonna be too heartbroken on it. I mean, I say that, but last year I was actually a little sad that Xenoblade 3 did not win Best Soundtrack. You agree with the... Yeah, no. That's why it took me a minute. You're good. You're fine, Quentin. That's fun. The world premieres. Yeah, I think a large portion of like, I think the casual side of the gaming community is going to be looking towards the game releases when it comes to the Game Awards. You know, like when I say the casual side, I mean the ones that are just kind of like what the mindset we have here, where people are like, it's a popularity contest. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. I just want to see games. So. Autobot doesn't like me today. I know. What is up with Autobot? Autobot's just very strict right now. Oh, I was doing a quest the other day. That guy's around here? Oh, there he is. I'll have to do that later. Hope I can remember. You know what? I'm going to put a marker here so that I remember to go talk to that guy later for another quest. And Pal World? I'm so excited for Pal World, guys. I'm so excited for Pal World.
Ugh.
All right. I think we're ready. For those who don't know, we've just barely finished the main story in Genshin. And I still have quite a few, as you can see, quite a few story quests that I gotta do. I do want to do them. It's just hard to juggle Genshin and Star Rail. I'm trying to find a balance, you know? I'm trying to figure out what I can do. So, but for now, we're going to do Furina's because I'm just really curious to see what happens to her after the Archon quest. I'm just really, really curious about that. I know I should probably do Nouvellette and Risley's first, but after the quest, I just have to know. About Furina Archon quest, the haters on the CN side are super confused why foreigners like Furina. That's a common thing. That's a common thing, right? Where because of cultural differences, everyone's confused. Not everyone, but cultural differences can make such a big difference on how people interpret characters and receive them, right? Because I think, for example, I think the Danganronpa creators mentioned that they wanted Miyu to be widely hated and were surprised that she was so well loved by foreigners. I forget if like people in Japan also liked Miyu, but foreigners were like, yeah, we freaking love her. And it's always fascinating. Yeah, culture class. Because like that happens in other situations, right? There's characters that are more popular over in other countries than they are like in the West, right? It's interesting. Also, I didn't know Pal World's getting another premiere, but I'm excited for it. That game, I'm surprised that game has gone this far. I'm so excited, y'all. Should we stream Pal World when it comes out? Should we? That's a thought. I don't know what it's gonna be like streaming it, but that's a thought. I saw her as in over her head, didn't know why. Yeah, like the character types of Furina can always be interpreted different ways, right? Like there's some characters in other stories that act like that, but it's out of like insecurities, right? Or there's some characters that act like that just because they are that arrogant. But I really liked how they did it with this one, where it was out for to act this way out of a necessity. And I think a lot of people resonate with that. Please stream Power World. I will definitely keep it in mind. Found later the hater and CN read stuff from a leaker. Oh. Yeah. You should never do that. Like, you always gotta take leaks with a grain of salt. But also, I shouldn't be, probably endorsing that because of Genshin. But, like, any rumors you see online when it comes to Genshin should always be taken with a grain of salt. And also, alert, CN, Chinese. There's a lot of stuff revolving leaks around Furina. Yeah, okay, now that the quest is over and we could talk about it, I did see that. Yeah. It was a battle every day on the internet between people. And like, I understand it because obviously people can be very passionate about characters that they like, but at the same time, it's a game. It's a fictional character. You know? I thought it was Canada myself. No worries. It could be, it's, yeah, CA. It's I forgot that CN was an abbreviation for Chinese until I started playing more Genshin, and then I remembered that. Not trying to justify foreigner does know English, so foreigner like Furina. People are entitled to whatever. There's some Buckwild stuff. Lest we forget how, was it China or Japan, how they reacted to Scaramouche fans. So a very small minority of people. We don't have to talk about it because it's messed up what they did. But that Genshin was made in Korea. Nope, it's a Chinese game. As long as we don't butcher the character. Yeah, I agree. But everyone will have a different interpretation of what that is. Okay, let's unlock this. Oh! This is different. Oh, that's right. I forgot they actually changed this where you can unlock the quests, but then only when you accept the quest is when it actually will get registered. So if that's the case, let's just unlock these then. And I'll get to them later. Perfect. Let's see. Also, the Korean community reaction to Lenny. Oh, I vaguely remember that. Now you can save more keys. Yeah! I forgot that was a thing. Honestly, really glad they did that, because I've been such a habit of never unlocking these, because I don't want to, like, accidentally start them, right? But now you can. That's awesome. All right, I think we're going to dive right into here. Also, quacking up the quest says, yeah. But I don't want to start them accidentally, because, like, I'd like them all to be on stream if I can. So, let's start this. If you don't want spoilers for Furina's story quest, I understand if you need to leave, but if you don't mind, or if you've already seen it, I'd be happy to have you guys stick around, because I've only seen a few screenshots of this, but I don't know exactly what happens in here. So I'm very excited to find out, and we're really close to it, too. Nice! To yesterday. Let's see what it says about. You can't get rid of me. For some reason, when I read that, Quentin, I thought of a quote that happens in Xenoblade 2 from an NPC enemy where they're like, "Think you can take me? Don't forget me!" Have you paid your 10 cents? I see what you did there. MiHoYo do read what the haters say, as they use that for inspiration for the writing. I've heard about that, or at least I heard about that with the Star Rail stuff, and in particular with one writer, and I honestly don't agree with how that one writer went about certain stuff, but it is clear that MiHoYo does read stuff. Hi, Ram, thanks for stopping by. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. We're just about to get started on the quest. I know this quest isn't too long, but if I don't respond to chat right away, it's because I'm just reading what's going on in the story. Okay? All right.
Hey, Catherine, it's us. Got any new commissions? Specifically one with a huge more attack, perhaps?
You didn't have to be so direct.
Paimon's just being enthusiastic. We're old friends now, she gets it.
It's always a pleasure to see our two most avid adventurers again. Looking for the next challenge, I see.
I hope Furina just walks up.
Actually, we do in fact have a rather urgent commission that is still open. Having read the details, however, I don't believe you'd consider it to be lucrative.
Don't worry about that. We were just kidding. So what's the situation?
To put it simply, the requester is looking for a temporary replacement actress for their musical. The original cast member ran into some issues and is currently unable to perform the role.
Huh, interesting. I wonder who could possibly fill in that slot.
But the troupe has also been experiencing some financial difficulties, so unfortunately they cannot afford to pay the replacement actress.
That does sound like a tricky situation. So basically they're looking for a volunteer?
That's right. Our adventurers reached out to many actresses, but none of them were willing to take the job. There are only a few days left until the performance. If they can't find someone in time, they'll probably have to postpone the show. And delays tend to create all sorts of new problems.
It's true.
Thanks for the hydrate.
I've actually, okay, speaking of performances, this is actually very apt. Recently, I actually watched, I don't know if you guys have heard, Star Kid? I haven't watched them at all in like years, but I got recommended their newest musical that they uploaded. And I was like, oh, Star Kid, I haven't seen their stuff in forever. I might as well go check it out. And I really liked it. And now I've been like binging musicals and stuff. So the fact that this Archon Quest is all about performances and like, I'm guessing theater, it's scratching the itch that I've had this entire week. I love musicals. Man, I need to watch more musicals. I'm not very knowledgeable about musicals, but I love musicals, man. Since we have a break, Jimmy hears about one writer doing something. Yeah, I did like what they did with it. And some of the haters are trying to... I mean, fans will do that. I feel any type of fan in any country will do that, I feel. Just dealing with the Fortnite challenges, so I have them done by the end of the month. I hope that's going well. I hope you can do them. And I hope they won't be too bad.
Streamer isn't acknowledging me.
That did make me laugh. I don't know if you saw, but while I was going through it, I looked over at chat and I read that. Right.
Got it. Oh, this one's a doozy. What do you think, Traveler? Any ideas? Even if we took the commission, neither of us have any experience starring in musicals.
Very true.
If you're interested in helping, why not start by having a chat with the requester? He's right over there. Maybe you can't fill the role yourselves, but you might be able to help him figure out another solution. Maybe there's something he hasn't thought of.
Oh, it's that guy, huh? No wonder, he looks like he just ate a sour lemon.
We'll go talk to him.
Hyman approves, let's go! Hello there, are you the guy looking for a new actress?
Wait, I know you two. Are you really willing to act in my musical?
Not me.
Wow, sounds like we're pretty famous in Fontaine already.
Even though I would like to give it a shot. I don't know if I could be like the main actress, but I don't think Traveler wants to do that.
But to answer your question, neither of us have any experience in musicals. But we heard that you're in a bit of a bind, so we figured we could at least try to help you think of a solution.
Ah, I see. It's okay. I knew that asking for a volunteer was a long shot. If we can't find someone to step in, we'll have no choice but to cancel the show. It would be such a shame.
Can't you cover the budget for a new actress with ticket fees?
That's the thing. We're not some high-profile theater troupe, just a group of amateur enthusiasts.
Gotcha. Yeah, money's tight then.
All our sets and props are very crude. We're grateful enough just to get an audience, never mind ticket fees. If we had a way to make this profitable, things might have turned out differently. But now, it looks inevitable that we'll disband.
Disband? You're splitting up the troupe?
Oh, I guess the lady at the Adventurers Guild didn't tell you? Yeah, this is supposed to be our final show together as a troupe. One last show. And after that, we go our separate ways. So we were really hoping to end on a high note.
Sorry, I'm looking over at chat. He doesn't ask Ether if he's joining. That's actually really cool to know. Like, I assume that there would be dialogue changes for that, but that's cool to know. Nah, I'm gonna talk about it. I'm going to talk about it. Supposedly in the beta version of Jet's quest, I don't think it actually made it into the main game, or if it did, they had to change it soon after. But in Jet's quest, there was actually dialogue that changes depending on if you're Ether or Lumine. And the dialogue with Lumine definitely hints that Jet has a little crush on Lumine, and specifically not on Ether. I think that was in the beta that had to be removed, but I could be wrong. Yeah. 90% of that got in. Mm-hmm. Hoyoverse is trying to skirt around a few things as best as they can. That was in the release. It was? I hope so. I thought it was in the release, and then I saw people saying like it was only in the beta. But I love it. I love it. We love it. I love it when there's dialogue differences depending on the which sibling you picked. Is great.
Nobody wants things to just fizzle out. Not after all the time and effort we've invested into it.
Catherine mentioned that one of your actresses can't make it.
Yeah, the leading lady, in fact. She's been dealing with a chronic illness ever since childhood, and unfortunately, it flared up again recently. It really drains all her energy, so she's in no state to perform.
I was gonna say Elazar, but that doesn't exist in this world anymore.
The show just won't be the same without her. But for everyone else's sake, I still hope we can find a way to hold the performance on schedule.
Got it. We have a clearer picture now. Let's see if we can come up with any ideas. What if we sponsored the show? Traveler, how much more are you carrying?
15 million? Why?
Please, there's no need to go that far. I wouldn't feel right asking such a huge favor. And I can't promise that we'd ever be able to pay you back.
Laura isn't the biggest problem. How do we find someone who's a good fit for the role?
Good point. If the actress just goes through the motions for the Mora, that's not exactly rescuing the show. We should find someone who will put on the best performance possible. Oh, wait! What about... you know who?
Hee. Great minds think alike. I was just thinking that.
That's how you know we're the best of partners. Anyway, she should have all the free time in the world right now. She's really good at performing, and she was once super popular with the crowd. Performing in a musical should be a piece of cake for her.
Who are you thinking of? Sounds like someone famous.
Furina.
Her? You're... That was a joke, right?
Nope. Paimon doesn't actually know if she's performed on stage before, but Paimon's pretty confident that she'd be really good at it.
You're not wrong there. She has actually performed in a number of big-name shows before.
Oh.
They were one of the reasons she was so popular. But even if she's no longer the Hydro Archon, it's not like she's suddenly a commoner. She's still an idol to many people in Fontaine, including myself. I just think Lady Furina might feel a bit out of place in an amateur troupe like ours.
You want the show to go ahead, don't you? Are you prepared to do whatever it takes?
Well, yes, but... Fair enough. I mean, if she was actually willing to, then of course I'd be honored to have Lady Furina star in our show. I'm sure the rest of the troupe would be delighted too. I'm sure everyone in our troupe has probably dreamt of performing on stage with her one day. Of course, it all depends on whether she's interested. She might consider this opportunity beneath her.
No point in stressing about that. We'll only know if we ask her. And besides, things are different now. There's no reason for her to be all high and mighty anymore.
Let's go. It'll be good to check in on her anyway.
Thank you for your help. I guess I'll just stay here and wait for the good news. Good luck.
Wait, where does Furina actually live nowadays?
Yeah, I was wondering.
She used to live in luxury at the Palais Mermonia, but she's, moved out, right?
As it happens, I have her current address here. I can provide it to you.
Ooh.
Ooh! When did you get here?
I mean, she's like 5 feet away.
I came over when things were starting to sound more promising. I thought I should be at the ready in case my assistance is needed. It is my duty to support commissioners in any way I can.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Well, now that we've got the address, we'll go find Furina. Back in a jiffy.
Oh, it's beginning. The little Oceanid. Or Oceanid. Oh, Catherine's out. Hold on, I'm gonna get to chat in just a bit.
I can't believe they're seriously asking Lady Furina. Seems a little over the top.
Try not to worry. May I pour you a glass of water?
I have to say that not Catherine dancing for Furina. I love that. But there was something I wanted to say. By the way, congrats on getting to AR-60, Quentin! I hope you enjoyed your two standard wishes. But Lunar, you were saying, like, outside of people of color, MiHoYo has been good at representation, even with the Chinese censorship laws. Do you think it adds some more people of color cast in Natland? Yes. Okay. I 100% agree. Like, I will fully say that Sumeru is my favorite region so far, but I will acknowledge that it would have been nicer if they did add a few more, like, darker skin colored people to the cast. Like, I know a lot of people in the region that that's based on have a variety of different skin colors. It would just be nicer to have seen that in-game. But I also agree. I would love it if they would put more of that in Natland. I'm not gonna get my hopes up because of how...
Tea parties are a must for...
How do I say this? It's hard to say this, but just because of how much... This is hard. I'm trying to be as respectful as I can. Especially in Asian cultures, they really prioritize not prioritize, but they put a lot of emphasis on fair skin. So unfortunately, that does come through in games like this. I would love there to be more people of color, but because of the culture, I can also understand why not. Yeah, it could be rough, but I do fully agree. I would love way more diversity in the cast. 100%. It's just, I don't know if I expect it, if that makes sense. I think there should be, but I don't know. Does that make sense? It could be tricky, like you said. I swear you were about to start singing. It's beginning to look alive. I'll be honest, I do love singing Christmas songs a lot. And I'm trying not to do it before Thanksgiving because I know some people don't like that, but man, I love Christmas. I love Christmas and Christmas music so much. All right, so apparently Furina lives here.
Did Catherine really give us the right address? She lives here? Not that there's anything wrong with this place. It's just, a bit of a step down from the Palais Marmonia.
Well, maybe she likes it. Maybe it's nice to have a little place that's not the center of tension, you know?
You know, it's common courtesy to make sure the homeowner isn't in earshot when you're denigrating their abode.
Oh snap, she's here.
Ah! Okay, when did popping out of thin air become all the rage? First Catherine and now you?
I was just out on a shopping trip. I ran out of macaroni, so I went to grab a few more bags. I used to have a much wider range of choices when it came to food. But now I'm finding that simple, traditional home cooking can be quite delicious too.
Don't you get sick of macaroni every day?
Not at all. As long as you have different kinds of sauces in, you can have macaroni and tomato sauce one week, macaroni and bolognese the next.
Oh, sounds like you're really struggling to cope.
She sounds so tired. She does. And honestly, like, this is the side of her that I was the most interested in learning about, because like we saw in the Archon quest how she seemed to be much more soft-spoken before she had to put on the act, right? And I want to get to know that side of Furina because I really do like the dynamic. It is kind of like acting, right? It's like I'm gonna put on a big performance, but then outside of that, I'm gonna be very reserved. I don't know. I guess I relate to that. So much macaroni. I'm honestly kind of jealous. I miss macaroni, man. Is it because you have to do all your own cooking now?
How rude! Questioning my cooking skills. The audacity! It's not like I have a very eventful life these days. Actually, I barely leave the house.
Oh.
So I don't see how it's unusual that my meals are a little simpler now too.
Do you like not leaving the house, or Are you bored of it?
Besides, I'm sure I could master dishes like la lettre focilor or blubber profiteroles in no time, if I felt so inclined.
You honestly probably could.
Ah, there it is. You don't know how to cook.
I think it would take time, but I think she could.
Not yet, maybe, but... Anyway, what are you even doing here? I do hope you didn't come here just to ogle at my fall from grace.
No, I wanted to get to know you and maybe give you a hug. Now that we know the truth, we can give you a hug.
Let me first be clear that I'm not taking guests at this time. So if you're just here to clown around, then please be on your way. Shoo!
Sorry! We're sorry! Please don't be mad!
Paimon was just showing concern for your well-being.
Yeah, exactly! What the Traveler said! Paimon wasn't trying to make fun of you. Hang on a sec, you weren't exactly holding back either.
That's not important. We actually came here to ask you for your help.
My help? Well, maybe you're forgetting that I'm no longer the mighty Hydro Archon. I don't even have a vision, you know.
Don't worry, it's nothing that serious. It's just very specific, and you're the one with the power to help.
If not you, then no one. You're the only person for the job.
Oh? Well, if that's the case, then fine. I'll spare you the lecture about your attitude just now. So tell me, what specifically makes this matter so specific?
All right, here we go.
I see. I knew you couldn't have come all this way just to amuse yourselves at my expense.
Hold on, it's been a while since I looked at chat. And I know this quest is shorter, so I don't feel bad looking at chat more often. I saw you said Quentin, you're avoiding Christmas music because you work at the food service, and I think that's very fair. Because especially in stores when they just play constant Christmas music, that would get old after a while for sure. Oh, sorry. Still recovering. And then Furina is better than writing and cooking just a bit. It's so true, because Ryan can't cook at all. At least you can cook something, exactly. Traveler and Pylon killed me in this quest. I'm interested to see how it goes. Eepy. I'm just a little eepy. Excuse me, sorry. All right. Let's head on.
After all, I was once the brightest star in all of Fontaine, well-versed in all the various performing arts. A mere musical is well within my capabilities. But given the present circumstances, I'm afraid I must regretfully decline your casting request.
How come? It sounds like this would be a breeze for you.
Do you not want to do it?
True, but I have made a decision to retire from the stage. Although I am no longer required to play the role of the Hydro Archon, the time I spent inhabiting that character has left an indelible mark on me.
I mean, can't blame you.
Centuries of pretending to be a different person changes you completely. I'm not the same person I once was. Of course, that can't be undone now. It's too late, and I have no intention of reinventing myself all over again. But at least I can say that I no longer desire to play any new roles.
I mean, that's fair. That's why I wanted to ask. So that's how you really feel.
Paimon can understand, but this is just a one-off part to fill in for someone who's sick. Surely that's okay.
Whether it's a one-off or not, it's a boundary that I've committed to no longer cross. If I make an exception to the rule now, I'm just leaving a back door for myself, which would be the same as not having a boundary in the first place. So I'm not going to perform, and that is that.
Okay, guess there's no convincing you. Well, is there anything else we can do to help out the troupe? Otherwise, they'll just have to disband without any fanfare. Do you know any other actors who might be interested in the role?
Nope.
Short and to the point, okay.
I've never been great at maintaining relationships. Besides, Anyone I've ever worked with probably couldn't wait to get rid of me.
I mean, maybe for the old you, but what about this new you?
Since I'm just an ordinary person now, they'll probably just laugh in my face if I go asking them for help.
You shouldn't assume the worst of people. What's wrong with making one exception? Not that one. But I do agree with this.
True, but I mean, could you even blame them? I show up out of the blue, begging and groveling for their help with a show they won't even get paid for? Oh, no way. I'm dying from embarrassment just thinking about it. Nope, not happening.
Well, is there anything else we can do? This performance really means a lot to the guy we're working for.
Have I not made myself clear? You're barking up the wrong tree. I don't want this job, nor do I know of anyone else who would. Sorry. I didn't mean for that to sound so harsh. I wish I could help, really. But if I thought I had the answer to this problem, I would have said so by now.
It's fair.
It's all right, Furina. Paimon just wanted to make sure we tried everything. Oh, everyone in the troupe will be so disappointed.
Let's try to come up with a plan B.
Yeah, I guess that's all we can do now. All right, then. We'll see you around, Furina.
Toodaloo to you, too. I'm going home to take a rest now.
Oh? Okay. I thought we were gonna linger on her for a bit longer. Alright. Let's go back.
It's too bad, but we have to respect Furina's decision.
Yep, we do.
Maybe the thought of performing brings up too many painful memories now.
I can't blame her, honestly. Do you think Paimon did push too hard during this? That's fair, yeah. Some people it takes a little bit longer for the message to get into their head.
Huh? What's going on? Are they arguing?
That's besides the point. I'll ask you again. Why did you start looking for a replacement without my consent? When did I tell you I'm going to take a step back?
You didn't need to say it. We've known each other for how long now? We know the signs. But you never tell us about your illness, even when it's clearly flaring up.
And that gives you the right to make a decision on my behalf?
Ooh, drama!
Shortly after you left, the troupe's lead actress came to the Adventurers Guild. She believes that she's healthy enough to perform. Excuse me, but can you both take a moment to discuss something else for now? The adventurer assigned to your commission has returned.
Sorry, I was just dealing with a little misunderstanding. So, how did your conversation with Furina go?
Sadly, it's a no from her. We tried to persuade her, but she wasn't having it. She doesn't want to play the role for personal reasons.
I see. Well, circumstances have changed a little, so maybe that's not such bad news after all. You see, our leading lady has just informed me that she's well enough to make it to the show after all. Staging the musical with the full original cast was always the dream, of course.
Oh, right! Sounds like everything worked itself out then.
Imagine if we had managed to convince Furina to join, only for her to find out she's no longer needed.
Yeah, she'd be livid. We'd get the scolding of a lifetime.
Was there, like, something over there? I don't know. I think I got distracted by... It looked like there... Behind this person's head, it looked like there was someone standing there. But I was... maybe I missaw.
Jeez, is Lady Furina really so harsh with people?
No, she's setting a boundary.
Only joking. Calm down. So, guess we can consider this case closed now, huh? Despite the fact that we failed to complete the commission, we were still racking our brains for ideas on the way back here.
Look, there's no point arguing with you about this anymore. You've made yourself very clear, so I'll stop looking for a replacement. This is the last chance we have, though. If your illness flares up again, there won't be time to find anyone to replace you. So, are you absolutely sure you'll be able to handle it? The whole team is putting everything they have into this final performance. We have to make sure it goes ahead.
Yes, I'm completely confident. I've been taking a new medication from the doctor, and it's working brilliantly. I'll definitely be able to tough it out until the performance day.
I hope you're right.
I share everyone's desire to commemorate all our years as a troupe with a proper farewell show. So the last thing I want is to be left out. Every one of us thinks of this troupe as their home, myself included.
You're right. I'm sorry. I let myself get too worried about the show. I should have asked for your permission first.
All's well that ends well. Sounds like the show will go on.
Paimon, wait here a second.
Sure.
I did see it! I wasn't seeing things! You lied to me, chat!
Hey, how did you... I was just passing by because I realized I forgot a couple of items on my shopping list.
That's fair. I gave you crap, but I do appreciate not spoiling. You guys are just fine. Time to kidnap Furina.
All right, I'm coming. No need to drag me. Hello, one and all. I couldn't help but overhear your conversation just now.
Furina? Didn't you say you were gonna take a rest at home? What are you doing here?
I was just ever so slightly concerned about the situation you mentioned. Yes, a teensy bit concerned, that's all.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's see how this plays out. Let's see how this plays out. Let's see how this plays out. Mm-hmm. We gotta grab her. So aggressive. Give her mac and cheese. Oh, it sounds so good. I would also be there for the mac and cheese, man. I don't blame her.
When you came to talk with me earlier, I jumped right to explaining my position and said some strongly worded things. And all before I even had a full grasp of the situation. Anyway, I just feel a bit bad about how it went down.
Oh, it's okay, Furina. I understand your position. I don't know about these two, but I understand your position.
I'm sorry, Paimon.
Oh, it's totally fine. Paimon didn't take any of that personally.
Then why didn't you just show yourself?
You really have a knack for asking the most uncomfortable questions, don't you?
Maybe.
I felt very sheepish, having had a change of heart after flatly refusing you. And then, to make matters worse, you caught me. But in any case, it sounds like the issue has already been resolved.
Yeah. When they said they were gonna ask for your help, I almost had a heart attack. I mean, how could we be worthy of having Lady Furina star in our show?
There's no need to think like that. And no need to keep addressing me as lady. Just Furina is fine. I was wondering, if this troupe is so important to all of you, why does it have to disband? If the difficulties are purely financial, then there must be a solution. You could put the shows on pause while you look for a sponsor, for instance. Everyone seems so devoted to the troupe. I'm sure if you keep chipping away, you'll find a way through.
We all want to believe that, but some things are just beyond our control. Everything's been going downhill ever since we lost our director. She was the heart and soul of our troupe. She kept us going.
Her name was O'Reilly, and she was the founder as well as the artistic director of our troupe. And tragically, she was a victim in this serial disappearances case.
I was gonna say, I feel like I've heard that name before, but okay, so she was one of the victims. That makes sense. That's where I probably heard that name then. Maybe mac and cheese sounds good. Mac and cheese in general sounds good. I miss having mac and cheese. Used to love it, then became lactose intolerant. I'm on a diet right now, so that's why I can't have mac and cheese. But also probably it's better for me for the foreseeable future if I don't have mac and cheese often. But it's still just like, it's one of those things where it's like, you only crave it more when you're being told that you can't have it, right? If you're like, if no one's saying you can't have it, then it's just whatever. It's something in the background. But as soon as people are like, oh yeah, you can't have mac and cheese, you're like, but I love it! I feel so bad for this. Every time I hear of Aurelia, I just think of the, oh. amazing. You can see the capture time by clicking it on the map. Oh, I'm gonna have to do that. Also, Revless, you asked, what color shack does Furina like to put in her? I don't really know what you are asking. I'm gonna go make mac and cheese. If you do, I hope it's delicious and wonderful.
What?
That's actually how I recognized these two. It was all thanks to their efforts that the true culprit was brought to justice. But still, no sentence can bring our director back to us.
She was a loyal fan of your performances, Miss Furina. They were what first inspired her to get into musical theater.
Oh.
She rallied many people around her who were destitute or had lost their sense of purpose in life, and convinced them to join her troupe. She wrote her own scripts, acted on stage, and mentored each and every one of us. People loved our performances back then. We seemed to be going from strength to strength. Things were really looking up for us.
And then disaster struck.
Yeah. After that, the entire troupe fell into disarray. None of us know anything about script writing, let alone how to handle the business side of things. We've been doing the best we can, but despite our efforts, things are slowly but surely falling apart. It's agonizing, but ultimately, we'd rather end things now on our own terms than stick it out to the bitter end and watch all our dreams turn to dust.
Oh.
That's so sad.
What a terrible waste. A gifted artist from humble beginnings who achieved so much and no doubt had much more to give. And then her life was so cruelly taken. I suppose it's fair to say then that this final show, besides being your farewell to the stage, is also your final gift for her?
Yes, exactly. We all miss her terribly.
Well, good thing I followed the traveler here. After hearing this tragic tale, I can no longer stand by and do nothing.
Ooh.
Furina.
I know what you're thinking, but I by no means plan to cross the boundary I've set for myself. Besides, they're no longer looking for a replacement anyway.
And she's directing and not acting.
I can,
Maybe.
however, provide some artistic guidance from the vantage point of a highly experienced audience member.
Exactly. It's not acting. So it's still not breaking it, technically.
But only if you feel this is something that would help, of course.
Oh, most definitely. We'll take any guidance that you can give.
We unfortunately don't have any budget for a consultant, though. Will that be a problem?
I don't need any compensation. All I'd ask in return, if you're willing, is that you tell me some more about the life and work of your late director. Something I've begun to realize since my departure from the Opera Epiclese is that there's a lot you don't see when you observe everything from on high. The law only judges criminal behavior and does not weigh human emotion. The court's verdict can settle the question of criminal liability, but what about all the unresolved emotions of the parties involved? What happens to them?
It's very true. A verdict can bring emotional catharsis. They come pouring out and flow away into infinity. Like, it can be cathartic, but in general, that's not exactly a court's problem. But they want to try to give that to the people who are involved, but that's not exactly a requirement. Anyway, I've switched mobile to make mac and cheese. I hope it's delicious. Making mac and cheese while streaming base. Right? Ah, that's a good time. Before, when I could have mac and cheese regularly, I would also like to make mac and cheese while I put on like a video or something. It's a fun time.
An interesting answer. But if you ask me, I think all emotion shall ultimately return home to the heart and slowly settle with the passage of time. Take, par exemple, how this troupe pines for their late director. Things such as this I have never witnessed before. And so I should like to observe, perchance to understand.
Still a fan of your old dramatic monologues then, huh? You just want to get back in on the action, don't you?
No. This is a completely different situation. Pearls before swine.
The name's not Swine, it's Paimon!
Oh, give each other nicknames. Do
Would
it.
you be willing to join me? Come on, take a break from adventuring to listen to a story.
Since it's you, I'll do it, especially since it's related to the serial disappearances case.
Thank you all so much. Our director was a huge fan of Miss Furina's performances, as of course we all are. All right, follow me. We'll go to our usual practice space. Please excuse the size. It's a little on the smaller side.
You know what I just realized while we were having that conversation? Technically, I have rotini, so not macaroni, but it's still gonna be cheesy. Furina may be the only Archon that could pull out more. That's fair, but is it like, didn't Nouvelette say that he's gonna take care of her so that she, like, will be okay? I think. But you know what I realized? So, Nouvelette got the side of, Focalor talking. The Traveler got to see the perspective of Furina a bit, but didn't get the whole story. And then Paimon didn't even get any of that. So, I wonder how much of, like, Paimon is still treating Furina the old way because Paimon wasn't able to see all of the other in between. Like, you could still, like, be told that stuff, right? But it's different, like, being told it than actually experiencing it yourself, right? That's just something that I barely just remembered. Because, like, I was thinking about it today when I was, like, watching some things where I was like, oh, yeah, certain characters wouldn't have known this or that because they weren't there. But we as the audience do. And I just realized this is one of those situations. Kind of like how Paimon can't remember the differences, the Irminsul changes. All of that stuff Paimon has no idea about. Enter resource location. I don't hold her dignishness against her, but I do wish she was less pronounced. I would say it comes from a place of ignorance. This is so quaint.
Huh? Lady Furina?
What's Lady Furina doing here?
Hello all. Allow me to explain. As of today, Miss Furina will be supporting our production of the Little Oceanid in the role of artistic consultant. These two over here are the ones that made it possible. They kindly reached out to Miss Furina on our behalf. I'm sure they need no introduction.
You bet! That was the trial of the century!
You helped bring our director's murderer to justice. We can't thank you enough.
Oh, please don't mention it. We're just here to join in on the fun.
Unrelated. The violin in the background is everything to me. I love the violin so much.
So, you were saying the Little Oceanid?
Yeah, that's the name of our final show. It's an unfinished script left behind by our director. One of our greatest regrets is that she never got to complete it. So, if we can bring it to the stage and make it a successful show, we can all take some solace in that.
Wait, but if it's not finished, then...
Finding an actress was the least of your problems.
Yeah, we've been battling issues on every front trying to realize this dream. Anyway, let me give you a quick summary of what the story's all about. The protagonist of the story is a young Oceanid who transforms herself into human form, despite the protests of her family.
Interesting story.
She longed to live just like any other human. And sure enough, she found friendship and even love. Everything seemed perfect. But one day, her true identity was exposed, and her world came crashing down around her.
So far, so good. A classic tale. What happened after that?
That's one of the issues we've been trying to deal with. Unfortunately, this was as far as the director got with her script. We need a proper ending so we can bring this musical to the stage. But people have different opinions on which direction to take it in.
Gee, I wonder what direction we should take it. Huh. Oh, let me chat. Mina and Paimons are studying to get the driver's license. Oh, snap! Good luck to them. I know a lot of people have been talking about how Nouvellette isn't really helping Furina, but I do think she wanted to live where she lives to be living the life she's living. I agree. From the sound of it, it definitely sounds like Nouvellette is kind of like, I'm going to support her no matter what she does in life. And sometimes what that something people need is space and distance. And that seems kind of like what Furina wants a little bit. She doesn't want to live in the Palais Mimonia, so she wants to live away from there. And Nouvellette says like, yeah, whatever you want. And then she's like, I'm going to learn how to cook on my own. Yeah, whatever you want. That's how I interpret it. Though it has kind of been established that there's a very small, I say very small. It feels like it's bigger than it is, but it is very small. Isn't her house still the closest? It's still pretty close to the Palais. I mean, sort of, but yeah. I was gonna say there's a very small portion of the Genshin community that has very poor reading comprehension. So I can see why some people maybe have a hard time reading into situations like this. For example, I distinctly remember seeing a screenshot from TikTok of someone saying, found out that Clorend is the reincarnation of Senora. Senora maids are winning. And it's like, where did you get that from? So it is unfortunately it's a small portion of people. But because of how big and popular Genshin is, it feels like it's everywhere. But it is a very small portion of the community. Yeah, very vocal minority. People on Twitter drive me nuts. Anyway.
We still haven't decided between a happy ending or a true-to-life tragedy.
By true to life, you mean the director's sudden disappearance?
Yeah. Like they say, truth is stranger than fiction. But then there's the question of whether we really want to use the stage to pass our raw pain onto the audience.
Exactly. A lot of the time, people come to watch a show just hoping for some light entertainment.
It depends.
We have to consider their emotional stake in this, not just our own.
It depends, but yeah, I see where you're coming from.
And one last thing.
I have a similar mindset.
We're still waiting on confirmation from two of our main actors. The first is Paulo, who plays the protagonist's lover. He's locked himself away to focus on writing an ending for the script. But the deadline's passed, and we still haven't heard from him.
Weird.
The other is Villemont, who plays the main antagonist. He took the director's death pretty hard. Hasn't set foot in the city since.
Huh.
He did write to us, promising that he'll be there for the final performance, but we haven't seen or heard from him since. So we're not really sure what to make of that.
Huh. Although, now that we have Miss Furina helping us, maybe we should take the opportunity to get everyone back together.
What opportunity? What do you mean?
Maybe you're unaware, but your name has always been like a rallying cry for us.
Woo!
Our director was constantly singing your praises. All of us look up to you as a role model.
I do. It's too early to say, but I really do hope that Furina takes this to heart, because especially it sounds like she has a very negative view of how people of Fontaine see her, and certainly there are probably some people that think that, but I really hope that she can listen to what they're saying right now and maybe understand that things are not how she perceives it. But at the end of the day, that's up to her whether she will listen to them and believe them or not.
Oh, stop. You're making me all flustered. Although, not in a bad way.
We'll see if that's actually real or not.
I suspect the reason they're dragging their feet is that they have their doubts about whether the show will really go ahead, considering all the issues you've been facing. But one by one, all the obstacles are being removed. Now is the time to rally the troops.
Makes sense. Okay, priority number 1, let's check in with Paulo and see where he's at with the ending. He went back to Poisson a few days ago. Said that staying in a friend's home might help him to relax and escape the feeling of isolation.
I thought the last thing his friend would want right now would be to take visitors, given that Poisson was flooded not too long ago. But I guess it's the opposite. A friend in need and all that.
Les poissons, how I love les poissons. I know that joke's been said before, but it just hit me then.
Yeah, maybe he could use some company.
Poisson.
Oh. Do you want a hug? Where's my hug button?
Nothing. I suppose my presence will be indispensable if we are to restore his faith in the show. So allons-y. To Poisson!
Les poissons, les poissons. Indeed! Les poissons! Alright, what do you guys have to say?
Pressure's on now. We gotta make sure we're fully prepared.
Then we have Lane.
You're off to Poisson to find Paula, right? Have a safe trip. We'll take care of the troop while you're gone.
Oh, sorry. Once again, you guys are gonna see all the times I yawn. But, I think let's take, a break right now. I know we could probably go on for a little bit longer, but this feels like a good spot to take a quick break. It's either that joke or that they have to say that one thing. It's either that joke. Oh, yeah. It's hard, but I think everyone does it, so I know I'm not being original. Yeah. All right. So let's take a quick 5 to 10 minute break, y'all. I point the camera at the sun. Oh no! Hold on, Furina, come here. Yeah, we're gonna take a small break. I need to refill my water a bit, and yeah. There we go. I was gonna get set up. I need to get some water. I need to walk around a bit. During this break, I'm also gonna be running some ads, so if you want to step away for whatever reason, this is a good time to do so. I just realized my camera was messed up that whole time. Hopefully it wasn't too bad. But yeah, we're gonna take a break. I'm gonna run some ads. If you guys have to step away, this is a great time to do so. Everybody refill your drinks. Exactly. Get some snacks, get some popcorn. Stretch is very important to move around. All right, we'll be back in, I should do this. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Okay, guys? Lighting improve again. They've done so many improvements, man. It's so good.
All right. Oh, right. Me.
Being too popular can be such a hassle.
the years I've found, I'll relate to all the sounds. When life opens a door, I will close all the windows. Growing obsolete, obsolescence feels complete. I'll turn off all the lights and I'll close all the windows. My desktop is there and I'm out of here. My cache is blasted, a thing of the past. It's since the mindset sail, I've been swimming. Tongue-tied, it's a weird way of living. Clocks are running fast, or maybe they've stopped. Time feels fake, and my focus is shot. Set sail for the high seas of thinking. Capsize on the jagged rocks I'm sinking. What's real, what's fake, what's up, what's down? I'm lost at sea, and I think I got a sound. A brave foghorn, 'cause there's no way that I'll make it to shore. Gotta sound a brave foghorn, so I can see what I'm doing this for. Since my mindset sail, I've been swimming. Tongue-tied, it's a weird way of living. Clocks are running fast, or maybe they've stopped. Time feels fake, and my focus is shot. Set sail for the high seas I'm thinking. Capsize on the jagged rocks I'm sinking. What's real, what's fake, what's up, what's down? I'm lost at sea, and I think I got a sound.
What's up? We're back. Hope you guys had a good break. Hope you were able to get water and stuff, and this is just how my voice decided to talk, I guess. I'm sure it'll disappear in a bit. Okay, there it goes. It's gone.
Hold on, I'm reading chat. Revless, to answer your question, I kind of agree with what Lunar Dragon says. It doesn't really make too much of a difference whether you do it before or after. I usually end up doing world quests after the Archon quest, but that's just because of how that works for me and streaming. But it is up to you. I know some people that would do world quests before the Archon quest because they pick up on more stuff. Welcome back. Thank you. Thank you. Stream died for me. Oh no. Yeah, I don't see it dropping on my end. I'm sorry. And also the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal. That meme has spread far out of the Genshin fandom. I got sent a video from my friend, and it was of someone using that song, but it was a workout video. And it's like, oh my gosh, not that meme. Honestly, I'll be for real. Like, I'm kind of happy because maybe more people will check out Genshin. But it also makes me, like, confused. Like, I don't get it. Like, sure, maybe the way how Ray Chase is saying it, it sounds very rhythmically, I guess. But it's just been a meme that I don't quite understand. But hey, if it makes people happy, then, you know, whatever. How long does it take for level up material to respawn. So if you're grinding the ley lines, all you have to do is just follow the ley lines, because the ley lines pop up and they just keep popping up. And if you have to look at your map or use your adventure book to figure out where they are, but they'll just keep popping up. It doesn't matter. Internet latches onto random stuff. They really do, honestly. Also, I forgot to say this, but hi, Jailbait! Thanks for stopping by. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. Oh, the Furina stuff. Oh, I thought you were talking about the EXP books. I thought you were talking about the ley lines. My bad, I'm sorry. Yeah, about 2 days. Yep, Lunar Dragon's got it. Mobs, the monsters, 1 day. But things like flowers and fruit, 2 days. Specialty items. No, you were right, Quentin. You were right. I thought they were talking about EXP books, but you're right, Quentin. I just misread it. So a day more for me. Yep, pretty much. Let me see if I missed anything. I want you to know Bean is hiding. Bean!
I hope it's been good.
Oh, please be good. Hold on, let me double check. Okay.
Excuse me.
Specifically, it's whenever the world resets. Yes, depending on your time zone, it'll reset at different times for you. But whenever the server resets, that's when it's considered a new day. It's why people enter co-ops for mats. It's true, because if people haven't grinded those materials, right, you can go into someone else's world and always ask if you can go and grab their stuff. Because, like, for example, if I'm not getting Sino, but let's say someone got Sino, right? And they're like, I need materials. And they go into my world and they're like, hey, can I get Sino's level up materials? I'm not using it. Of course. Feel free to grab it. So whenever you get your login bonus. Yeah. Quentin's right. Saw some vid of CN dad training kid in Genshin so he could take over his kid's account. And the kid is in their final. Oh! Wait! Oh, that's actually kind of fun. Yeah, I saw, not really on the CN side, but I saw a TikTok of like this, I think it was a boyfriend got a list from their girlfriend, 2 partners, whatever gender they are, 2 partners. One of them got their list from their other partner of like, hey, I'm gonna be out of town. Could you do the things I need to do in Genshin? And they're like, of course, sure. And they had a to-do list, like a strict list of like, do this on this day, do this on this day. And the guy was like, what is Genshin like? This is insane. What do you mean? That's unfortunately the truth of gacha games. It sometimes becomes a job. But for me, I know not everyone feels this way, but for me, Genshin doesn't feel like a job. It's just something really fun. I know other people would disagree, and everyone's entitled to their own opinions, but for me, Genshin doesn't feel like a job. Anyway, this is a good song. We'll save that for next time. Let's head back in. And then I need to switch over here. Perfect. All right, we should be good. Oh, I should ask really quick, since we're here, which style of Furina do you guys prefer? Do you prefer the black or do you prefer the white? I'm curious. Which one do y'all prefer? Black or the white? I'm gonna stick with this for now. That's why I don't buy the battle pass. I've already passed level 30 and I don't want Genshin to feel like a job. See, the only time I think I've ever bought the battle pass is one time it was a gift. And I think the other time was because I wanted more materials for like a character I was wishing. But honestly, I don't think I've bought it more than, I think I've only bought it 2 or 3 times. I just don't, I don't know. I'm kind of like a masochist in that I want to play a game as much as I can free to play, right? And I don't mind giving money to developers. I should have just gone to that teleport. I don't mind giving money to developers when I like the game, right? But I personally want to try to spend as little as possible as I can. And so the battle pass, I do think the Welkin and the battle pass are very good deals, given what they provide. But me personally, I have the mindset of like, if I can do it for free, then it's not necessary, you know? BP and Welkin once in my entire, and it was for Zhao. Yeah. I've definitely gotten the Welkin more often. Usually if it's like, oh, I'm really happy with what they are doing in Genshin and I want to show my appreciation to them, or I'm like really happy with how things have developed, then I will give them like, then I will buy the Welkin. But in general, it's kind of like, if I can avoid it, I would like to, you know? But I do, I have many mixed feelings on it. Me and Dad is sitting. That tends to happen. I only buy the Welkin and the Battle Pass, and I do so once a month. Yeah, exactly. The Welkin and Battle Pass are the best things you could buy in this game. I don't recommend topping up, but it's also like, I do appreciate that any money you can spend in this game is not like a requirement, right? Like they're not stopping you from progressing in the story by money. You can do everything for free in this game, and I really, really appreciate it. It's one reason why I picked it up. It can be hard. Trying to play any mobile game free to play is so hard, and I think people don't realize how hard it can be. But I do appreciate that you can do anything in this game for free. Wait, yeah, BP is more like a support. Yeah. All right, we're looking for Paulo.
If I remember correctly, this is where he's staying.
Who is it?
It's me. Is the script ready?
You came all the way here for that?
All right. Forget that for now. Just come on out. We've got some great news.
Nice try. Look, just give me some time, okay? I'm just wrapping up this last part of the script. I'll be out once I'm done.
Okay then. Looking forward to your masterpiece.
So, as expected, he's missed the deadline.
The ending is one of the most important parts of the show. Even once he's done, it isn't final until we've all had the chance to read through and make sure we agree on it.
Someone told me they'd just seen you in Poisson. I assumed it was a case of mistaken identity, but sure enough, here you are. And Furina, too.
I wasn't expecting to see Navia in this quest. Hi! It's so good to see you!
I was wondering if we might run into her.
But can you guys maybe talk about any unresolved things going on? Ow! Pretty lady? She's very pretty, man. Don't mind me, I'm just adding cheese. Do it! Get those cheesy Macs! Macs and cheesies!
So, you're here for Paolo? Looks like he could be a while, so feel free to take a stroll around town in the meantime. I've made all the arrangements already.
Oh, it's okay. We can just wait here.
Thank you for being so considerate, Miss Navia. That sounds wonderful. We'll take that stroll. Get over here, you! How oblivious are you?
Y'all gonna talk? It's time. Navia isn't afraid to confront.
How are things in Poisson now? Any better?
Things are on the mend, but it's a slow process. Some people may never recover from the trauma they experienced.
I'm sorry to hear that. I wish there was something I could do.
Please, must our conversations take such a depressing turn every time we meet? We all have painful memories, but we don't have to let them cloud everything we do. And if you're trying to make a new start, perhaps it's best if you don't bring up the past all the time.
Thank you for your words of comfort. You make a very good point. But for now, at least, I think I should stay with the way I'm feeling for a while longer.
It's okay. These things take time. Moving on from a painful experience is easier said than done. Which brings me to why I'm here. I thought you should probably know that not everyone here is ready to forgive and forget after the Hydro Archon's inaction in the face of catastrophe.
I mean, I figured. Like, not everyone's gonna think the same way.
To avoid upsetting the peace, I told the townspeople that everyone here is a member of the theater troupe, and that you are just an actress playing the role of Furina. It's not a perfect solution, but Hopefully it means you won't have to lie low while you're here.
Gosh, I love Navia, man. I had some like mixed feelings in some of the earlier acts, but man, she just every time I'm like, ugh, she just comes out on top, man. She's just so good. I love her.
That's so thoughtful of you, Navia.
Well, what do you expect? I am the courageous and considerate president of Spina di Rosula, after all, like my father before me. Anyway, that was all. Look after her now.
Got it, Navia. Thank you.
Off we go then. Let's take a look up there. I don't have any friends that I can be frank and honest with, so maybe she's right. You're the closest thing to friends that I have.
Accompany Furina, she analyzed. Navia's just like, why are all these women depressed around me? For real though. I mean, there was a time where Navia was into that boat, but she's just like, oi, we're trying to move on now. Is Furina's hat a cake? I mean, it kind of looks like it. Given that fact that she loves sweets, it would make sense if it was designed after a cake. But I don't know. Twitch died? No!
I'm so grateful that Miss Navia was so understanding. To be perfectly honest, I didn't know if I was ready to meet her. It's always easiest to just run away from your problems. But that never fixes anything. You can't get around the obstacles without facing them.
Very true. You can only run for so long.
So that's why you were nervous when they brought up Poisson.
Yeah. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't scared of coming back here. Still, I felt it was something I had to do. As I was saying before, I want to see for myself the things that I never could in the past. I'd be overjoyed if the people here could find it in their hearts to forgive me. But they're more likely to unleash a tirade of vitriol against me. Which, of course, I completely understand and accept.
I'm sure some people didn't buy Navia's lie. Probably not. Look at these people. They're mad at us. Her signature food looks like a hat. Oh, I'll have to look at that later. Refresh the browser. It's good for now. I'm gonna knock on wood for you. Hope it works out.
Yeah, I can tell people are watching me. I'm sure some people here see the idea of someone coming to Poisson dressed as the Hydro Archon as extremely disrespectful. I used to be terrified of the gaze of other people, especially when they had suspicion or resentment in their eyes.
I mean, at the time, there was a lot riding on that.
I guess I wasn't quite ready for this after all.
I'm surprised you're making yourself go through all of this.
Maybe you've taken on a bit too much in one go. Me too, it's not like you. I personally wouldn't say any of these. I would rather say, like, it's very brave of you to at least try. It's understandable why they're angry. Furina doesn't deserve all this hate. Yeah, and again, it's because of their perspective on the situation. Like, we have an understanding of what Furina has gone through, whereas a lot of the rest of the people don't, you know? To some people's perspectives, they probably just heard like, oh, this person is not the Hydro Archon and is just a human after all, and she's been faking it this whole time. And that could be all that they know. So, it's hard. There might be rumors maybe going around about more of the details. I'm not sure. But at least there's some people out there that are still appreciative of Furina, you know? Like, you're not gonna please everybody. That's the unfortunate truth. You're gonna make someone mad out there. But at least there's people that were able to tell Furina, like, hey, what you've did, it's meant a lot to us. And sometimes those are the things you gotta focus on. Average Fontanian has no context, unfortunately.
I can't let myself see only the things I want to see. How would that make me any different from before?
Look, a crowd gathering over there.
Should we walk away? They're not staying quiet either.
Probably time we made a move.
Yep, I was gonna say, let's get out of here.
How about we check out Spina di Rasula's ship? We should have a view of the whole of Poisson from there.
Let's do it. Head on up. Up we go. Let me check something really quick. Okay. Just want to make sure of some things. We're good. Give me this. How do I get up there again? Oh, there's a ramp. It's right here above my head. Hello. Oh, how are you all doing? I'm not ashamed to be Furina here. We're all having a good time. There's apparently a Hydroculus nearby that I completely missed.
I'm sorry. You probably just wanted a relaxing stroll. And here I am dumping all this heavy stuff on you.
I mean, for the first time in like 500 years, you have someone to talk to about it. So in my mind, it's okay. I would say I'm okay with that. My mac and cheese is real good. Has lemon, pepper, onion powder, cumin. Oh, that sounds so good. Enjoy it.
We don't mind. It's actually refreshing to see a different side of you.
I agree.
Great. Well, I appreciate your company, so please don't disappear just yet. I don't know whether you can tell, but the years of suffering and loneliness aren't the only reason I have a hard time facing up to who I used to be. As I stand here by the ship, I can't get the images of the rising water out of my mind. One after another, people were taken by the water. All those treasured lives and memories washed out of existence in an instant. They thought their god would protect them. They had absolute faith that when disaster struck, a divine power would save them from harm. And all the while, I played my part to perfection to convince them that was true. But then the floodwaters finally came, and the Hydro Archon did nothing.
You shouldn't look at it like that. You're only doing your duty.
Don't be so harsh on yourself. I mean, I can actually say this. You're only human. There's only so much you can do. And you had a heavy burden on your shoulders.
I've had to go through so many moments like that for the sake of protecting the truth. As time went on, it got harder and harder to bear, and I became more lonely and isolated. Eventually, I realized I had nothing left except the truth. I became terrified of completely failing in my task, and was haunted by the thought of being left all alone, weeping on my throne. Fortunately, we were able to avoid the worst-case scenario thanks to the help of heroic individuals such as yourselves. Everyone rose to their responsibilities, and I finally regained my freedom. But on some level, freedom also means no longer being needed. I have no further use to people.
Paimon would have never imagined you'd see it that way.
Think of your freedom as your reward.
A reward?
Because now you can finally speak your heart. You don't have to be anguished and alone anymore.
I guess so. And back then, I didn't even dare to dream about having someone to confide in. I was scared of someone recognizing me for who I truly was, and exposing the secret I swore to protect. Believe in the Furina you see on stage. She is the one you can trust. I had to keep all my feelings, all my curiosity about life to myself. No one could be allowed to know. That's what I really meant when I said I'm no good at maintaining relationships.
So that's where you were coming from. Paimon totally thought you were just a bit of a diva at heart.
I mean, that was her intention. She wanted us to think that, to believe that that was the Archon. That was the god.
Could you please get off my case? I don't know what's gotten into you today. I'm making an effort here. You could at least try to do the same.
What Paimon meant to say was she doesn't like seeing you so down. Do you feel better having gotten all this off your chest? Do you feel better?
I do. I once had nothing but the truth, and now I'm finally free to live my own life again. And even though I have no idea where I'm going right now, at least the choice is in my hands. All right, it's about time to head back. Paulo should have finished the ending by now.
Sure. Okay, let's head back and check it out.
Oh, shoot. Sorry, Paimon. Where is this Hydroculus? Am I actually that blind? Hello? Huh, I'll have to figure it out later. Up? It's up? Oh, at the tippy top? Okay, well, I fell down, so I guess we're fine. You were close? I must have been blind then. I found Paimon to be the most annoying at this quest. I can see what you guys are saying, yeah, for sure. Like, it doesn't... It's hard to say. It does irk me a bit right now, but... I feel like Paimon's always just not been the best at reading the room either. If that makes sense. Like, I do think Paimon could have worded things better, but to me, Paimon's just kind of acting how they always are.
Didn't you say you needed to watch what you eat? You're supposed to be cutting down on fried foods, not wolfing down copious quantities of fish and chips.
Come on.
Ah, shoot, sorry.
It's not every day we get to dine at Spina di Rosula's expense. Can you believe how generous she is? I'm not about to pass on free food. Anyway, my character doesn't need to be slim and good-looking. That's your job.
Are you kidding me right now?
Wow.
It's not your character's health I'm worried about, it's yours.
Wow. I love Paimon, but she just made me angry at this quest. And that's fair. Yeah, there's definitely some moments where I'm like, I wouldn't have said it that way, or I wouldn't have said that.
I've spent my whole life battling the effects of ill health, and it kills me to watch you willingly ruin yours by filling yourself up with junk all the time.
Oh no, looks like they're arguing again.
Thanks for the hydrate.
We're back. Could you maybe put your differences aside for a moment?
Ah, you're back. We've been enjoying Spina di Rosula's VIP treatment in your stead. Paulo's nearly done. We shouldn't have to wait too much longer.
Great! So you were discussing your characters, right? We heard she's playing the Oceanid who turns into a human girl. What about you?
Me? I'm an Oceanid too.
He was originally supposed to take the form of a crane, but he outgrew that role. Well, the costume at least. So now he's playing the boar instead.
I see.
Sorry.
The boar's not a bad character, actually. He's the one who raises the little Oceanid, yes?
That's right. He has some pretty memorable lines too. Like when he imparts some solemn words of wisdom to the little Oceanid. If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one.
Furina!
You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want?
Ogwen? Oh, I'm not saying that. Never mind.
Wait, that sounds kind of familiar.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that sounds a little familiar.
It's the most important line in the whole script. I think it's a symbolic statement about our director's life and legacy. She kept quiet about all the trials and tribulations she faced in running our troupe, allowing us to devote ourselves fully to performing. It was only after she was gone that we realized how tough her job really was.
You mentioned earlier that the troop is like your home.
Yeah. I was born with an incurable illness, and once my family found out it couldn't be treated, they decided they didn't want me anymore. I spent some years taking whatever work I could find and trying to manage my illness with various medicines. But whenever I had a bad flare-up, I'd be lying in an alleyway for days at a time. It was like that until the director found me one day. She told me I had a great voice and asked if I was interested in studying singing from her. I said yes. She took me under her wing, taught me to both sing and act, helped me find Mora for my meds, took care of me when my condition decided to flare up. I know it was all a huge burden on her.
She sounds like a really incredible person.
She really was. She gave everything she had to her troupe and the people in it. All of us were so proud to call her our director. I was a lost child too when she found me. As the child of a murderer, my parents weren't around when I was little, so I got sent to an orphanage. The other kids were always picking fights with me. They'd say things like, "Come on, you must be pretty tough if you're the son of a murderer." It was just to taunt me, though. I was an easy target, and they knew it. One day, I got beaten up so bad that I just couldn't take it anymore, so I ran away. I lost all faith in humanity by that point. Thought the whole world was out to get me.
Let me guess. Fortunately, the next person you ran into was the director.
Yeah. For the first time in my life, I was somewhere I felt safe. And I promised myself I'd stay here until the day the group parted ways.
The day you hoped would never come. How times change.
Oh. He's here. Before we hop into this, everyone in Fontaine abandoned or orphaned, except Namiya. Kids could be really cruel. Dude, right? I was actually reminded of something I went through when I was a kid. Obviously not as bad as what these guys went through, but there was a time I got bullied for crying, but the person that was bullying me for crying kept kicking my legs and kept just being like taunting me, like, "Are you gonna cry about it?" Just kept kicking me. Like, well, yeah, you're hurting me. Yeah, kids can be really mean.
Gotta go. Good night. Watch the pod.
No worries, Lunar Dragon. I hope you get a good sleep. Actually, no, I think you said it was afternoon for you, so I hope you have a good day.
Take care. Have a good one.
All right, let's see how this is gonna go.
Oh, you're finally done? Get your butt over here. There's someone I need to introduce you to. This is our new artistic consultant, Miss Furina.
Furina? The Furina? Oh my god, how did you manage to wrangle that?
Please, the honor is all mine. I was profoundly moved to hear about your troupe and your wonderful director. I just wanted to do something to help.
Same here.
Even so, this is just... Oh, wow. I'm sorry. I'll try to calm down. Now, where was I? Ah, yes, the script, of course. Let me give you a rundown of how the story unfolds in my version of the script. I'm sure you're already familiar with the beginning of the story. A little Oceanid decides she wants to become a human, against the wishes of her family. She finds love and friendship in the bustling city. But then, disaster strikes.
Yo, this art style, really like it. I love when art styles do thick lines like this. Like, sure, there's some thin lines here and there, but the accents of thick lines, it's just, I love that style.
The people start to notice that all the fresh water in the surrounding area is slowly disappearing. The soil is becoming arid, plants and flowers are withering, and the people begin to panic. The little Oceanid, Cleo, and her lover decide to do something about it and investigate the truth of the matter together. In the end, they discover that all the waste and pollution created by humans over the years has caused the fresh water to flee the land, as if driven by a consciousness of its own.
Consciousness? You mean the water is sentient?
Water as a conscious entity. There's actually quite a few stories that explore this theme.
Since the little Oceanid is a water spirit, she immediately understands how the water is feeling. She then tells her lover about her true identity, as well as the truth behind the crisis. Her lover accepts her for who she is, and works with her to find a way to bring the water back. However, unbeknownst to them, there were some people eavesdropping when she revealed her secret.
Dismad!
The little Oceanid is accused of being directly responsible for driving the water away, and faces the greatest dilemma of her life.
And then?
In the end, she makes the brave decision to sacrifice herself to save her lover, and the rest of humanity.
Huh? But didn't they all treat Cleo like a villain? Why would she want to save them after that?
Well, she mainly wanted to save her lover, plus everyone who'd stood up for her.
Through her love for her human partner, she was able to find an even greater love, one that extended to all of humanity. Surely the biggest strength of Cleo's character.
There's actually something else that bothers me. You know the protagonist is supposed to represent the director, right? And she never had the chance to become a hero in our world. If we're serious about dedicating this show to her memory, we should make the ending as true to life as possible. What about if the little Oceanid is hounded to death by people who hate her, her lover makes sure her secret never gets out, and humanity continues down the path to extinction?
That sounds like too cruel of an ending to me. And perhaps a little irresponsible to present to the audience.
That ending would be a perfect mirror to Director Aureli's death, both arbitrary and meaningless. On the day when she went missing, Director Aureli had instructed us all, somewhat out of the blue, to leave the court of Fontaine and wait for her outside the city. We waited and waited at the rendezvous point, but she never came. By the time we returned to the city, she disappeared without a trace. We looked for her. The Gardamex looked for her, but she was nowhere to be found. Increasingly, all the signs seemed to point to her being the latest victim in the serial disappearances case.
The director was the kindest soul in the world, yet she was senselessly sacrificed for the sake of a so-called experiment by someone who had nothing to do with her at all.
But doesn't the way she suddenly told you to leave the city suggest that maybe she had some sense of what was about to happen? It almost seems as if she was moving you to safety.
I've been trying to follow up on that ever since, but all my efforts so far have turned up nothing. Villemont might know something, but he won't open up to me.
Villemont? The one who's playing the role of the villain?
Yeah. He's been overwhelmed by grief. I think the director's death hit him hardest of all.
Grief? Guilt, more like. Also, I have a hard time imagining that anyone took it harder than me.
Let's not play this game, shall we? People can experience grief in their own ways. Let's not play the who had it worse game, okay?
Because, well, speaking of the play being true to life, I was deeply, madly in love with Aureli.
Cool. Let's not play the who's better game. Because you don't know if the other guy had the same feelings, okay? Let's just not do this. Jack had to do laundry. I hope laundry went well. Welcome back.
What? You kept that one quiet.
It's time to be upfront with you all. No more keeping secrets from each other. We'll never be able to agree on the ending if we can't be honest about how we feel. I did tell her how I felt once, but she turned me down pretty much straight away. She said that we were all like brothers and sisters to her, and she'd never considered us as potential romantic partners. Not that it came as a shock or anything. It was what I was expecting to hear. So I told her I'd always be there for the troupe, and I'd always be there for her. I said, maybe one day in the future, when everyone's settled into their own lives and on the up and up, and managing the troupe no longer required her constant attention, well, maybe then she could reconsider what she really wanted in her life. And now, that day will never come.
Oh, Paulo.
So if I'm the one writing this ending, then I'm gonna make sure it does right by Aureli. I won't let anyone get in the way of that.
In that case, you have to straighten things out with Vilmont once and for all, face to face. We've all had our differences of opinion over the ending, but those two have never seen eye to eye on anything. One of them has to compromise if we're ever going to reach a final decision.
Well, if that's where we're at, looks like it's time to go visit Vilmont.
Are you ready to face the truth?
Honestly, I'm slightly terrified. But for the sake of our final performance, I'll do whatever it takes. Funny you should ask, though. You really do get what I'm going through right now.
I certainly do. Come on, everyone. Allons-y!
Okay.
Time to go. Fine for Vilmont, which looks like it's back in Fontaine. But before I do that, is this enough? Sweet. And I have my friendship team out. Perfect. I'll have to go remember to go talk to Catherine. But yeah, this team I currently have out is my friendship team. You'll notice that Fremine is still level 20. All right. Oh, Spiral Abyss reset. Huh. I'm gonna have to do that. All right, Vilmont is out here. Are there like... I know there's some houses here and there, but I don't remember houses being over in this specific direction. Whoa.
This is tough going. Delphi, are you sure you can manage in your condition?
I could ask you the same question. Try to keep up.
She's great. So, why are we out here? Oh. Oh.
Ugh, as if this journey wasn't tough enough already without a roadblock.
Don't worry. We should all be fine with the traveler here. We don't need to take a detour.
I was gonna say, Furina, is this where we get to play as Furina? Because it's hydro slimes. That's not good for Furina.
Wait, why are you all looking at me?
Oh, right.
You're not seriously expecting me to fight, are you?
She doesn't have a vision either.
We're just curious, that's all. I don't think anyone's ever seen Furina in a fight before.
Yeah, but don't you remember why? The Hydro Archon willingly gave up all her power so it could be converted into Indemnitium. Miss Furina said so herself.
Precisely. And I'm not even the Hydro Archon anymore, so all my power is gone anyway. As much as it pains me, unfortunately, I should just stay put. I'm more like a damsel in distress more than anything.
That sounded so smug. Ugh, secondhand embarrassment is unbearable.
C'est la vie. This doesn't require god level powers. Don't you know any self-defense? I mean, why would she? Is your Ziki burger? I don't get that.
C'est la vie indeed. Alas, I am forced to watch on helplessly as a more brave and seasoned adventurer than I swoops in to save the day.
Aw, too bad. I was so pumped to feast my eyes on fight mode Furina.
Sorry to leave all the heavy lifting to you.
Don't worry, piece of cake.
Let me switch. I can't fight these guys very well, though. Let me switch. Dang it! Okay, well, I guess Fremine and Charlotte have this. On the HUD. So yeah, there is, if I hold down Z, you can quick swap between certain items. And what I have currently equipped is the NRE. And what that does is it basically just quickly heals your characters. And you can have different food items. So it doesn't have to be a burger.
Hold that pose!
But mine is a burger.
Breaking news!
Frost is coming!
Yeah, so this recipe was actually from an event item.
Dead reckoning! Here! Getting geared!
Whoops! There he goes.
Feeling.
And then it became a steak because Fremine died, but if I eat a steak, then it's fine.
Time to shine!
Whoop.
Hard-hitting exclusive!
Settle down!
I should pay better close attention. Fremene's gonna die if I don't. Yeah, the KFC event. Yeah. Here, take care of that guy. Good healing item. It is. Like, there's other healing items that do the same thing it does, but this one is very good.
Here.
Smile!
How rude!
All right, now that just ice is here.
Let the world collide!
Shoot spawn!
Oh, there's more! Dang it! This is the bad side for running a freeze tape.
Hair. Commencing cleanup. Getting here. Frost is coming.
Oh, that's not good.
Breaking news! Time to shine!
Hair.
They're also running a freeze tape. It's true, they are.
Hold that pose!
Getting here. Frost is coming.
Ah, jeez. Ah, jeez. Come on, almost. Almost there.
Bravo! Good show! You certainly live up to your reputation.
Yeah, thank you. Anyway, the path is cleared now, so onwards and upwards.
This is why I feel like I would like to have Wanderer in my team so that I can at least hit almost anything. Big taser for my YMX and taser. Oh, for sure, yeah. Like, I think freeze comp can work really, really well. But taser also makes sense. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I would love to have Wanderer. It's just all these characters need friendship. Even though I don't need to have them out right now. It's just habit.
Vilma, are you there?
Oh, he's camping out?
Huh? Oh, it's you guys. Wait, what's Lady Furina doing here?
I can explain. We've been rounding up the whole troop. We now have everyone except you.
Here's the everything. Everything.
So, you think knowing the truth about the director's disappearance will help you write an ending to the script that pleases everyone?
Pleases everyone.
I care just as much as everyone else about making the little Oceanid a success. That's why I wanted to wait until after the show. If I open this can of worms now, I just don't want to make things difficult between us. We're supposed to be a unit when we're on stage.
Vilma, avoiding the truth will not help anyone. Unless you mean to suggest that Aurelie's death had something to do with you.
I don't want to talk about it.
Listen, Vilma. I used to think that my love for Aurelie was a point of shame. I never brought it up to anyone. But now, I've made up my mind to put it all on the table. I'm prepared to face everything, to sacrifice everything for the sake of the show. The little Oceanid cannot be complete unless we do justice to Aurelie on an emotional level.
This is why people think of you as not being the smart one. As you all know already, the troupe was kept afloat not from ticket sales, but donations from the audience. Of course, that was nowhere near enough. We took on side jobs when we weren't performing, but even then, the troupe's financial situation was pretty dire. So, anyway, one day after a show, a merchant came to me and offered us a huge sponsorship. In return, we just had to provide the audience with their drinks during performances. It seemed like a win-win, so I said yes to it on the spot without consulting the director. It was only when the merchant came to deliver the goods that I realized the drink in question was synth.
Isn't that the drink peddled by the culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
I remember that it induces a state of euphoria, but it also causes significant harm to the body.
I freaked out when I saw the boxes. And I told the director everything right away. She was completely shocked as well. But she didn't reprimand me for making the decision without consulting her. Instead, she contacted the merchant and stated that the troupe could not agree to this collaboration. The merchant was furious, berated us for going back on our word, and threatened to sue us for damages. The amount was astronomical. There was no way we'd be able to pay.
And then?
I was going to sort it on my own, but the director stopped me. She said that this was an issue for the whole troupe and it wasn't my fault. But things only got worse from there. The synth merchant just wouldn't let up, and then suddenly the director told us all to leave the city one day. I knew then that things must have reached a boiling point. I admit this whole thing was my mistake. I didn't dare to tell any of you the truth back then, and after the director disappeared, I was even more afraid to say anything.
You brought the director to the attention of the synth dealers. Your mistake gave them a motive to kidnap and murder her. Woo!
Yeah, I got Aurelie killed. There, I said it. Happy now?
Hey, don't say that.
You traitor! You knew Aurelie was in danger. Why in God's name didn't you tell us? What do you mean, you were afraid? This was a life and death situation. We could have saved her! How could you be so stupid?
Please, try not to get too worked up.
Yeah, listen to him. You need to stay calm.
Stay calm? How can I stay calm? This guy got Aurelie murdered. She was the love of my life. And he has the gall to try and high-road us, claiming that he kept his mouth shut for the sake of the show. How about taking some responsibility for what he's done?
All I can say is I'm sorry. Truly. I wanted to apologize to everyone in the troupe, but that won't bring back the director. What good is my apology now? I'm just a coward who made an awful, terrible mistake that I can never take back. Beat me up if you want. Kill me if you prefer. It's what I deserve. End my life. So I can meet the director and apologize to her in person.
Get out of my sight! Go! Get lost! I don't ever want to see your face again!
That's enough! You've screamed and shouted at each other for long enough. Now pipe down, both of you!
Good on you, Furina. Also, can we, take a moment to appreciate the NPCs in this quest? Holy crap! The voice actors who voiced them did a very good job. I hadn't said anything because they were so good. They really captured my attention. Props to you guys. Whoever voiced them, great job. And then them shouted like Shadow. Maybe? I don't know. There's a chance. They do have quite a cast for this game. I don't think I heard Shadow personally, but either way, they're very good.
Can you stop conflating the show on stage with your real-life relationships in the troupe? You keep saying that you want to use this final performance to pay tribute to your director and celebrate her life. How can you do that if you're just using it as an excuse to vent your own emotions?
You're right.
I'm sorry.
On stage, the lead role is the focal point of the audience's attention. And you're all used to seeing the director as the heart of the troupe. But in her own life, her greatest desire wasn't to be the center of attention. I can tell how much she loved you all, and how much she loved the troupe. What she wanted was to build a warm home for all of her brothers and sisters. To shield you all from the storms that rage in the world outside. That's how you should remember her. And that's what you should be celebrating. I understand why you're trying to make her the hero of the story, but isn't she your hero already? After everything she did for you?
Yeah.
So think hard about what that means. And then think again about what you hope to achieve by arguing with each other. If you really hate each other and can't reconcile your differences, then you could just call it quits now. Why bother with the final performance if the group is already fractured? But you can't bring yourself to do that, can you? You care too much about Director Aurelie and the home she built you all to let go. What are you laughing at? I don't see what's so funny.
Sorry, I didn't mean it that way. It's just that, for a moment there, it felt like our director was back with us again. If she'd seen Paulo and Vilmont at each other's throats like that, she would have scolded them exactly like you did, in that same stern voice.
Really? But she sounded like such a gentle person.
Of course she was. Even her harshest lectures came from a place of kindness, and it showed. She really was a truly outstanding person.
What you said, it really puts everything into perspective.
I'm truly sorry. I really meant for this to be a genuine apology, but I ended up making it all about me and my self-pity.
It's all right. Let's save all this for after the performance.
So, the ending. What are we gonna do about it?
Clearly, everyone needs to take a step back for now and reflect on what really matters. When emotions are running high, things get lost in the fray. The end of the story needs to focus back on Aurelie herself. She's the true star of the show.
It might actually be possible to find out more about her fate.
What do you mean?
The Traveler is right. You once investigated that underwater synth base and recovered items belonging to the victims.
Yeah?
If you could find anything that Aurelie left behind, perhaps we can get a better sense of what she went through in her final days.
You really think that's possible?
Maybe.
I trust that nobody would object to the ending of the story being based on Aurelie's true feelings.
No.
Well, we'll leave this in your capable hands.
Come, let's pay a visit to the Palais Mermonia. The rest of you, head back to the rehearsal location for now, and wait for our good news.
Dang, look at Furina go. Look at her go. I do genuinely really love seeing this side of Furina so much, man. It really helps put a lot of things in perspective. Like, even though she was putting on an act the whole time, it still shows that she has learned some leadership qualities in that time. Anyway, it's been... I know it hasn't been quite an hour, but I think this is actually a good spot to take a quick break. I also need to stretch a little bit. So, we're gonna take a quick 5 to 10 minute break. Also, I agree with what you said, Arrow. Anything's possible. We're gonna take another quick 5 to 10 minute break. All right, this is a good time for you guys to stretch your legs, get some water, do anything else you gotta do. Need to go to bed? No worries. I hope you get a good night's sleep. So, we'll be back in about 5 or 10 minutes. All right, I'm gonna run some ads. And so, if you gotta step away, this is a great time to do so. See ya. Bye, Arrow. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Thank you. All right. Be back in just a couple of minutes, guys. Oh, right. Me. Okay. Baby.
Hello, I'm back. I hope you guys had a good break.
Hope you were able to do all the things you needed to do. I stretched a bit, and man, I needed that. So,
Oh my gosh.
all right. Wait, what is this song? Welcome back. Thank you. What is this song? I'm waiting for the drop. Okay. Okay. It's building up. Okay. And? There it goes. That finally something. All right. I just had to know how the song went. Okay. Let's head back in. Let me unmute this, and then let's head into the game. Whee! Yay! All right, time to hide myself again so that I don't continuously look at me moving.
All right.
So we have to go to the Pele Memoria, it seems. Memonia. Why do I keep saying Memoria? Memonia. Or it's Mermonia. Mermonia, not whatever I was saying before. Was I saying it wrong? No. Ah.
All right.
So we have to look for the belongings. Still gotta grab that quest. Keep forgetting it's here. Can we? Dang it. He's not in the office. Wanted to check. I'm just planning out teapot. I haven't done teapot stuff. I still want to decorate the Sumeru teapot, but I haven't had time to like sit down and do it, man. But oh, it's been so long. I'm having that itch. I wanna decorate teapot stuff so badly.
You want to review some recovered items connected to victims of the serial disappearances case? But, that case has been closed for quite a while now.
Is it not possible to look at the evidence first?
Still, since you were the ones who discovered and submitted the evidence in the first place, you don't actually have to submit an application. Okay, please hold on. I'll have someone dig them out.
I have to say, I just really like how this voice actor voices this Melusine. It's just so endearing. I love it so much. Staff member retrieving the belongings.
So, this is all O'Reilly left behind. Just whatever she was carrying on her person and this tattered old notebook.
What's in the notebook? I can't wait for the Fontaine one. Right? Surely we gotta be getting it soon, right? I kind of want to decorate the Sumeru one before I do the Fontaine one. I just love Sumeru so much. The same one who bought us cake. Yeah, she is! I love her so immensely, man.
Hey! It's full of script lines! And sketches, too! Looks like they show where the different props should be placed on stage.
Let me take a look. Maybe there's something in here from after she was kidnapped. Aha! I found something. To whoever discovers this diary. Let's see. Looks like she kept a detailed record of her captor's actions. She even mentions the truth behind the experiments on dissolving young women.
Oh, snap. That would have been very good evidence to know.
If we'd had the chance to examine this notebook carefully back then, it would have been a conclusive piece of evidence proving Vacher's guilt.
Vacher took so many lives. It's still so unthinkable how many victims he had.
I guess O'Reilly must have written all of this down in the hope that her records would one day be of use to investigators. Wait. It cuts off.
Is something wrong?
Her handwriting here gets patchier and more illegible by the line. She probably didn't have much strength left. Her final words are... I'll let you read them for yourselves.
Okay. I've been working on Inazuma 1. Inazuma 1 is so good. And the Mondstadt one. That one is also good. But the Inazuma one's so pretty. All right. What are these words? Someone else was taken. That makes 6. Or perhaps the 7th? Someone tried to escape yesterday but was caught. She hasn't been seen since. Was that yesterday? Maybe not. I've long since lost track of time. Sorry, I don't know if writing this is of any use or how much longer I can do it for. I can already see my fate approaching. But what terrifies me even more is the thought of seeing others from the troop here. Have I truly protected them? Sorry. I'm so sorry. I can write no more. I think I have a fever and my old stomach troubles have returned, but nobody has given me any medicine. Old stomach troubles? Did she have the same thing that the Duffy? Is that her name? I'm sorry if I mispronounced it. Dolphy. Dolphy. Same thing that Dolphy had? I'm supposed to take... Wait, So I suppose I'm more fortunate than Srisi. Apologies. The pain keeps her awake all night. I suppose they think that anything goes so long as the experimental subjects can be used up before they die. It's so damp here. I have given her my blanket. So cold, so cold, so cold. As long as one persists, all things will pass. There will be a reward for hard work. I like to tell them such things, but it is I who am losing my grip. If anyone sees this, troops safe, I them important. Please farewell, apologize, life perform, future, regret, Cleo. This page is an absolute mess, and the writer's pen seems to have wandered its surface at random. Only some words can be made out, and barely at that. From this page onwards, the diary stops, to be replaced with lyrics from musicals. Some are in the form of newspaper clippings, others are handwritten with many crossings out and changes. It is apparent that the pages have been referenced often, and that this was the personal notebook of artistic director Orieli.
She was so terrified.
I think it's the synth hitting her. Yeah, I think it's definitely the synth in the water just eventually killing her. She watched a girl get dissolved right in front of her and had to wait for her own death in silence.
She may have been a mighty hero in the eyes of her troop, but at the end of the day, she was only human. I can't bear to think how painful and lonely her final days must have been. Wait. This part on the last page sounds strangely familiar.
Flipping through the notebook, the lyrics continue. However, one page has been torn out, folded up, and placed next to the last blank page. At the bottom of the folded note, there are two new lines Aurelie has written, in handwriting much more legible than before, but it seems that they took her both great effort and great deal of time to write. If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want? Because I am an older sister to them. I love them.
If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this still what you want?
It sounds eerily close to what I think Fossilor said.
Isn't that the most important line in the little Oceanid?
Because I am an older sister to them.
Oh.
So she didn't regret her decision. Even as she sat in silence, waiting for death to come. I'm sure this is what the troupe would have hoped to hear as well. She had their utmost trust, admiration, and love, and she truly deserved it. Let's go. It's time for them to learn Director O'Reilly's final thoughts.
Dang, now the music kicks in. All right, bring the director's diary back. We have to go back here, it seems. Not there. Actually, it might be closer if I teleport here. Oh, boy. I just realized we never got to, like, see what Vilmont's ending was like. Because we were so focused on his, guilt. I was kind of looking forward to seeing the differences, but you know what? It's good that they aired out that, I think. After reading through the notebooks, some are lost for words, some weep bitterly, and some grind their teeth and howl with rage. Who's? Oh, Vilmont, the guy that was basically like, I'm the one that got Orieli killed because he was the one that did the collab. We never got to see what his ending was, because I thought they had said, like, both of them were working on different endings. Or they were all working on different endings and those were the two that didn't have theirs ready yet. I thought. Maybe I misremembered. And it was only Pello who had an ending. But I thought they both did. A long time passes before the group is able to calmly come together and finally make a decision.
She deserves a hero's farewell. If that's the only way to convey to the audience the courage and selflessness that she showed in the face of death, then it's a meaningful way to end the story.
Even in the last moments of her life, she was still leaving a trail for others to follow.
She did her best to protect as many people as possible, even if it meant sacrificing herself. We know what choice our little Oceanid would have made now. I don't think any more discussion is necessary. Well, Vilmont, if we put the past aside for now, do you think you can bring yourself to go ahead with the show?
I will channel all my regret and put it into my performance, to make this a show worthy of our director. I won't ask for your forgiveness, and you don't need to worry about my feelings. This final farewell show should be about Director Aurelie and her alone.
Then it seems like we've reached a consensus. I have a feeling that this will turn out to be the most mesmerizing performance of your lives.
Really? How can you be so sure when you've never even seen them perform before?
Don't underestimate my experience. After watching a countless number of musicals, I've learned one important thing. If you want to move the audience with your music, you must fully commit and immerse yourself in your role, pouring all your emotion into your performance. And aren't human emotions, love, hate, regret, and hope, just the most mesmerizing things in this world? I don't believe anybody could be more committed to bringing this story to life on the stage than they are now.
Thank you for the vote of confidence, Miss Furina. And thank you for supporting us through all this.
Then, let's not delay things any longer. We need to discuss the details of the ending and get it nailed down once and for all.
Actually, before that, I'd like to make a proposal.
Oh?
During the curtain call, please allow me to use the director's name instead of my own.
Huh? But then...
After all, this role was originally meant to be played by the director. I'm just filling in for her.
No, adjust my mic real quick. Oh, that was loud. Probably heard that.
Besides, a role commemorating her life should be associated with her name.
Well, if you're sure you're okay with that, I have no objection to it.
Now we're talking like a serious acting troupe. All right, I'll leave you to fine-tune your musical while I go and procure a stage.
Procure a stage?
Oh, it's okay. Our usual place doesn't need a reservation.
That place? Oh, don't be silly. For an extraordinary show, we need an extraordinary stage. By which I, of course, mean the Opera Epiclese.
Oh, snap! She's gonna try to book it.
Whoa, wait, what?
No. That's never going to work. It's far too fancy for the likes of us.
What are you afraid of? Surely you don't think that Aurelie's story is unworthy of the grandest stage in Fontaine.
No, that's not what I meant.
It is supposed to be your grand finale, right?
Believe in yourselves. Go big or go home.
I have no problem with it then. How about the rest of you?
Yes?
I'll take your silence as a yes.
Okay.
Thank you for giving us this opportunity. It really is a dream come true.
Well, then don't disappoint me. If you mess this up, it'll reflect poorly on me too. Come on. We'll need to get the go-ahead from Nerilette. I know just where to find him.
I mean, you did work with him a long time. Can we talk to them? What do they actually think?
First Miss Furina, now the Opera Epiclese? If only the director was still with us.
I just noticed there's a bed. Is that a prop? Who sleeps here? Whose house is this?
Hey, come on. There's no point in dwelling on that now. We have a lot of work to do.
Cowards. I do wonder why they were all so silent and stunned.
Yeah, you're right. Now's not the time to get all melancholy.
The directors? Oh, that's a good point, actually. That's a good point.
During the final scene, maybe we should stop the music just before Cleo takes the stage?
All right, he's still thinking about it. What do you have to say?
Best of luck to you.
Are you thinking about more? What are you thinking about? What's going through your head right now? What's going through that little noggin of yours? Just a guess. It would make sense if this was the directors. I wonder if they were able to get the keys somehow. Can't talk to these guys. All right. Where would Neuvillette be at this moment? Here. Apparently. Where's Nahito when you need her? I know! What an amazing ability. And the sad thing is I kept forgetting it, right? But it's such an amazing ability when you could just read people's minds. Oh, so good.
Hey, look at that. Looks like I guessed right.
There he is.
You were just guessing?
I will say, though, if we were able to read people in Fontaine's mind somehow, it definitely would have given away Furina's secret a long time ago.
I knew you'd be here.
I'm here merely for a short break. It has been a while, Miss Furina. And you too, Traveler in Paimon. What might I assist you with today?
I would like to book the Opera Epiclese for an event. You see...
Oh, are we gonna give it to him? Okay. So good to evade their practicing. It was delicious.
I understand. The process for booking the Opera Epiclese is complex and can be somewhat cumbersome. But given that the request is coming from the three of you, I see no reason to make things unduly difficult.
Thank you.
The story of the little Oceanid is most fascinating. I'm looking forward to seeing it performed on stage. I will say, however, that I am surprised to see your passion for the performing arts rekindled after all that has happened.
Huh? What do you mean? Do I look excited?
Yes. And this is the first time that I've seen you like this since your departure from deityhood.
Aww!
At first, I just felt bad about rejecting them. So I wanted to learn a little bit more about their situation. But one thing led to another, and... well, here we are. In the past, we sat in our high chairs in the court, giving our opinions on isolated cases, all while knowing very little about the human stories behind each and every one. Maybe it's because I finally become an ordinary person and gained my freedom, but I've developed a great sense of curiosity about their lives.
Aww.
I'm truly delighted to see you find a new lease on life.
Yay! Hydro Durgan doesn't know how to help depressed you. He doesn't know how to help. All he knows is that he can sympathize, or like, empathize? Sympathize with them. And he just wants to make people happy.
Now that you've regained some confidence, have you had any thoughts regarding a return to the stage?
Why would you suddenly ask a question like that?
Well, if the little Oceanid turns out to be a great success, it will no doubt become a classic. Many theater companies are certain to add it to their repertoire. The experiences and decisions of the protagonist, Cleo, are all modeled after your own. Naturally, this makes you eminently suited to playing the leading role. It would truly be a shame if you did not take this opportunity to allow audiences to enjoy your outstanding acting talents once more.
Haven't I already made myself clear? I won't act or perform in any role ever again. No exceptions. Nor do I think it is any great shame. There is no lack of fine actors or inspirational stories, either on or off the stage. This experience is a case in point. I feel like I've learned a lot, and it has already been well worth the price of admission. I must admit, though, I'm a little envious. They're quite fortunate to be able to bid farewell to their past in such a magnificent manner.
I see. Well, I'm glad to learn that you have found a role to play that you enjoy, be it on the stage or not. I sincerely hope the show will serve as the grandest of finales. I will have my staff book the date, and mail the relevant paperwork to the troop once the details are confirmed.
Dang. Nice, thanks.
Thanks, Nervalet.
You are very welcome.
He's also just so pretty, dude. He also on his collar, it's like a tear, kind of. A teardrop, right? It made me think of Dvalin's tears. Anyway.
Many people were once enthralled by Lady Furina's performances, myself included. I hope that one day she'll be able to understand that our appreciation was always sincere.
Hope so too. He is handsome. He is so handsome. Look at this man. Look, now there's two of them. Look at these men. Look at these men, dude. They're so freaking pretty. But it's Furina's time to shine. Soon we will do Nouvelette's quest, I hope. Okay, back to the troop we go. Let's teleport. It should be easier. Da 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 ba da da. All right. Oh, down here we go. Whee! All right, we got the place booked. That's not what I meant to click. We got the place booked.
Good news, everyone. It's done. The Opera Epiclese is booked. Thanks to my eloquent and impassioned speech, Monsieur Nouvelette was moved to provide us with a fitting stage for this special performance. We've had to fight every step of the way for this opportunity, but we now have all of the ingredients necessary to stage a truly spectacular performance. A touching story, a magnificent venue, and last but not least, a passionate and dedicated cast. Now, let's work together and make this show the best it can be.
This is truly wonderful.
She's very good at a director type role. Look at these men. Thank you for the clip quotes, and I appreciate it.
The sooner we can finalize the ending, the more time we'll have to rehearse. Fiamma and I just went over some parts of the script and tweaked a few things. I think it's really going to resonate with the audience now.
Wow, you two had a constructive conversation? That's great!
Oh, communication is vital to any good performance.
Look at us. We've come so far. I never could have pictured this scene a few days ago.
It's amazing! Even though Furina's still being a bit of a drama queen about it all, she's really fired everyone up!
That was unnecessary. I'm looking forward to the final production.
Please feel free to give us any comments or suggestions you have. We really value your input.
Hey, Loic, get over here. Time to practice the opening number.
Oh, it's buffering. Although this is a very pretty picture. Oh, it was loading at the same time. I see. Ah! Oh, giving guidance. I do love how they do this, like, time lapse. That's fun.
Cursed Cleo. She stole the waters of life from us. She's a fraud, and she must pay for her crimes.
We're in the wings. Perfect.
This has nothing to do with her. The ignorance and hatred of our people is to blame. How can we hope to win back the water's favor if we don't change our ways?
This guy could be useful. Take him hostage. If Cleo wants him back, she'll have to show herself.
Leave this place, oh little Oceanid, and never, ever look back!
Look! What a great turnout! That's the word.
Everyone's really throwing themselves into their roles. I haven't seen such a fine performance in a long time. If only.
If only?
What should we do? It's almost time for her to take the stage!
Oh no, is she not doing well?
Why? Why does it have to be now?
Oh no.
Hey, what's going on? You're due on stage any second now. Oh no, not again. But why? What about your new meds? Did they stop working?
They've been getting less and less effective over time. I've had to keep increasing my dose.
Oh, jeez.
What? I thought they cure it. So they were only managing your symptoms?
I mean, if this is a thing she's dealing with, it can't cure it. Managing it makes sense.
I figured whatever it took to get me through this final performance.
How could you do this to yourself? And after that lecture you gave me about not looking after my health.
I'm sorry. I've let everyone down.
Ooh. Sad thing. The sad thing is to say, oh my gosh, words. I've been in this situation, not as this person, but as this person in a way. There's been a performance or two where there was one person in the production that would experience really bad bouts of pain and sometimes would need help walking to like the changing room or like backstage and stuff. And so sometimes, and it was always just like people who were like had a free moment in between scenes and stuff would help them, you know, go back and forth and whatnot. And I remember I was one of those people that did that to help this person like walk to the stage, and it was a very particular bad bout of pain. And they had warned me like, hey, we're gonna probably have to stop sometimes. And I'm like, that's okay. And we were walking over to it, and they just got an insane amount of pain suddenly. And they were holding my arm, and they just squeezed my arm so tightly as they like collapsed on the ground, and I went down with them, helped them back up when they were ready to go, and just kept walking. This is not a fun situation to be in, is what I'm trying to say. By the way, if anyone's curious about the pain that person was going through, I think I remember there was talk about it at time of it possibly being endometriosis for this person. But I wasn't we lost contact, so I never knew what it actually was. But they are still alive, and I think they're doing well. I think they've been able to manage it. But the point is, long tangent aside, this situation hits a little close to home because I've seen this. I have been here. It's hard.
This is a conversation for another time. How can the show go on without its star performer?
Miss Furina, I'd like to make a request of you.
Say no more. If you're sick, you need to rest. I know what you're going to ask.
Are you okay with that, though, Furina?
Loic, your character has no more scenes, correct?
Oh, yeah. I think my scenes are all done. Although, I do have one more line. But I guess another guy in the troupe with a similar voice register could take it. Why?
Please take Delphi back to her place to rest. I'll sing the finale. From the sublime to the ridiculous. After all that, everything's come full circle.
Are you gonna be okay with this?
Thank you, Miss Furina. I'm so sorry to put you in this position after everything you said.
Never mind. What's done is done. It's really my own fault for getting in too deep. No one likes regrets, myself included. Leave it to me. I've watched you rehearse so many times that I've learned Cleo's part by heart.
I do not doubt your acting skills, but please allow me to ask just one more question. After all, this show is dedicated to the life and legacy of our director. What, in your opinion, is the reason Cleo shines so brightly?
It's her pure heart. Despite all the pain and loneliness she had to endure, she never once stopped believing in the beauty in this world.
Well said. I leave Director O'Reilly in your hands.
Oh, I'm going back now.
Is she here yet?
Let's get here!
She's not coming!
You're wrong. She's here.
I do love how they drew all this. Ah!
Si je pouvais vivre dans l'eau, le monde serait-il plus beau? Me pardonneras-tu, ô chère mère? L'eau dans son courant fait danser nos vies, et la cité elle nourrit, ainsi que toi, mon doux amour.
But what about your wish?
My wish.
If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want?
Le grand amour ne suffit pas, seul un adieu fleurira. C'est notre histoire de vie, douce et amère. Moi, je suis, serai toujours là, à voir le monde et s'inventer, et ça ne changera jamais, jamais.
Oh gosh. I'm gonna ugly cry. I'm definitely not crying. Me either. Totally not. Oh my gosh.
Is it just me? Or was that Lady Furina on the stage just now?
She hasn't been seen for a while now, and she just appears out of nowhere? Gotta say, though, her acting skills are as superb as ever.
I need to rewatch that cutscene later. And like frame by frame it. The animation was so good. Man, the rain's intense tonight. Oh man, it sure is raining really hard today.
The little Oceanid, Cleo, played by Aurélie Fumont.
Wait, that's not her name. What's going on?
I don't know. Maybe it's just a doppelganger.
I've spent a lot of time out of the spotlight, and they didn't use my name during the curtain call either. Hopefully, not too many people recognized me. It's too bad that I had to break the one clear rule I'd managed to make for myself, even if I had no choice.
Oh my gosh. It's even raining in my house. Isn't it insane? Also, hi, Luxu. Genshin outdone themselves again. Holy crap! I could see why everyone was talking about that cutscene. That was so pretty, and the music, the animation with that. I talked about the style before, but it's so good. Genshin writers earned their rent money. Man, they've earned their rent money with, like, in my opinion, especially these last two arcs, right? Sumeru and Fontaine. Both of these have been amazing. Like, I know unpopular opinion about Inazuma. I still liked Inazuma so much. I would even argue they earned it with that. But Sumeru and Fontaine especially. Oh my gosh. I love this game. I love this game, man.
Still, I have to admit that, despite everything, it felt good to be back on the stage again.
So no regrets? I mean, if this is your last time, that's fine. But I'm glad it felt good and it wasn't traumatic.
Finally, we would like to give a special thanks to our artistic consultant and event coordinator, Miss Furina.
She's never gonna want to be on stage again.
Hey, that's not what we agreed on.
Oh, so it was Furina after all.
She's back.
Honestly, what is he doing? He should have run that by me first.
All right, calm down. Don't be mad. This was a group decision. We just didn't want your contributions to go unacknowledged. After all, it's been the rule in Fontaine since ancient times that everyone's work, visible or invisible, is equally deserving of recognition.
Yes, I know the rule, but it should still be applied on a case-by-case basis. I wasn't ready for this yet.
It's no big deal. What's the worst that could happen?
At most, you might get asked to sign a few autographs later.
Oh, yeah? Well, since you think it's so easy, you can sign them for me.
I think that's fair.
This is a great chat and all, but can we talk about that crazy thing that happened during the show? It nearly gave Paimon a heart attack. Paimon flew over to where she was supposed to be and was about to drop the prop vision, and then suddenly, a real one popped out of thin air!
Oh, that.
Yeah, can we talk about that?
I've got no idea what happened there either. But hey, it worked pretty well, didn't it?
And you know what makes me so happy about this vision? Is because Nouvelette mentioned that all Hydro visions from here on out are gonna be technically from him. Because there's like a line of dialogue where it's mentioned that a lot of these visions are like pieces, fragments of the Archons themselves. And since there is no Hydro Archon, Nouvelette is kind of in place of that. So all future Hydro visions are gonna be in a way from him, but mostly Celestia, but from him. So this is the first vision that Nouvelette might have sent out. Is this the first time we've seen someone get their vision in game? No, this is actually the third time. And not, well, I could go more into detail about other specifics about this vision, but I think I should progress in the quest just in case.
I'll bet the audience has never seen such a realistic prop.
It looks good on you.
Wait, what about Dolphy? I wonder how she's doing.
Oh, let's go check on her as soon as we finish clearing the stage.
Yes. Plus, she'll definitely want to hear how the end of the show went. If nothing else, we can safely say that we accomplished what we set out to do.
All right, but didn't A say the Archons don't give visions? Yes and no. So A has that one dialogue where she's like, I'm not in charge of actually giving the visions. But I believe, I hope I have it unlocked because Nouvelette is friendship 9. Let me see. Okay, here it is. But in Nouvelette's thing here, though they might know nothing of who or what wish had stepped into the threshold of the sacred, the 7 Archons still had to impart a shattered shard of their mastery to that person. So, let me go back. From that day on, whenever a person's wishes reached the heavens, the 7 overseers of the material realm were duty-bound to grant them a gift. So they don't know, but they have to give it. And when one so gifted completed their duty, the gift of the gods would receive in return would be more abundant still. So this implies that even though the Archons are unaware of it, that is still what happens. When the wishes reach the heavens, they are still duty-bound to grant them a gift. So they may not be completely unaware of it. It could be happening in the background, but that is what is happening. So. Ugh! Alright. Can we actually listen to some of the audience?
Did anyone see where Miss Furina went? Oh, I want to get her autograph, but I can't find her anywhere.
Oh! I just realized you're Inazuman.
Did anyone see where Miss Furina went? Oh, I want to get her autograph, but I can't find her anywhere.
Why does this guy sound like Marco? Is this Marco?
I thought Cleo's actress sang very well. Why did they swap her out at the end?
I don't know. Maybe that's just how it was scripted.
She's hiding. Yes, she's hiding in plain sight. Wonder where she could be. No clue. Can't talk to you. Gonna check all these guys, y'all.
I wasn't expecting such an incredible performance from an amateur troupe. They didn't seem out of place on the big stage at all.
Yeah, their technique could use some polish, but the performance in general felt very believable. Hit all the right emotional notes. I think it'll stay with me for a while.
And you people. Oh, geez, I'm stuck. You people, do you have anything to say? Nope. I can't be Furina. She has much shorter hair. Exactly. It's impossible for me to be Furina.
What a surprise. Seeing Miss Furina on the stage? This ticket was money well spent.
Yeah, I agree. Say what you want about her, but she's flawless when she's on stage.
Oh, speaking of that, there's something I want to call out. The way they made the Paulo, the character he played, the way they made him look at the cutscenes, he was so pretty, guys. I actually saw a few people talking about it. That's one thing I did see in screenshots. Oh, I could talk about this. That's one thing I did see in screenshots where people saying like how well Paulo looked in those animated cutscenes. But I also did see a screenshot of Furina getting the vision, which, I mean, it's kind of hard at this point to hide because when I got Furina, the first Ascension line is like, I'm not used to having a vision. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense. But it's also really hard because Hoyoverse themselves uploaded a video of that cutscene, like, pretty recently. Also, I have been meaning to get this the entire time. It's been in the background of all of my Archon quests, and it has bothered me. Oh my gosh, I should have done that forever ago. My cat is hindering my typing. Bean! 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 Oh, was the place we stayed actually Dolphy's place? Because it looks like we're going to the same spot, and we had, I think we were, it was said that she would be sent home, right? Also, I completely understand why Hoyoverse is doing that contest of like, sing the song, right? A lot of people are singing this song. Part of me wants to be able to participate, but I don't really have a good microphone for singing. Nor do I think I have time to practice the song, but I don't know. I wish all those who are participating in that the best of luck. So this is her house.
Ah, you're back.
Just had to check something.
She's doing okay. Her condition stabilized after taking some of her original medication. From experience, though, I'd say she still needs a few more days of rest.
How did the performance go? Was it a success? Did the audience like it?
You'll be glad to know it was fantastic! Also, you're not gonna believe what happened while Furina was on the stage. You'll probably be able to read all about it in the Steambird first thing tomorrow morning.
That's wonderful. I'm so sorry I failed to see it through to the end. I guess I was wrong to try and tough it out to begin with.
Wait, it's the place where everyone lives. They only have one. I do wonder where everybody else's house is.
No, don't worry about it. Like they told me after announcing my name during the curtain call, everyone's work deserves recognition. Even though you couldn't see it through to the final scene, the audience was very impressed by your performance. It's safe to say that you made your mark on this memorial show.
Well, one way or another, we did it. I've had bad luck ever since I was born, so I never expect things to go smoothly in life. I'm just happy to know that we went out on a high note. That's all that matters.
Blaming your bad luck again, are we? Maybe if you didn't push yourself past your limits so much, your illness wouldn't be flaring up all the time.
Oh, don't you start. I don't have the energy to argue with you right now.
Aw, you two clearly care a lot about each other.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You mean we never stop arguing with each other?
Uh-huh. What is up with Fontaine's couples and not being able to admit anything?
So, any plans for the next step? After the brilliant performance you put on, the reputation of your troupe is sure to spread through Fontaine like wildfire. You won't have to disband if you don't want to. You could capitalize on the rave reviews and license out the little Oceanid to the bigger theater troupes out there. That would do wonders for your financial situation.
No, we should still disband.
Yeah, it's what we all agreed to.
After all that's happened, I should give you guys some space. But maybe our paths will cross again one day.
Hey, don't just walk off!
I still want to keep performing, so I might join another troupe. After watching Miss Furina's performance, I think I'm starting to understand our director's infatuation with musicals.
You should do it. It suits you. I'd originally hoped to keep performing too, but I don't know if my health will allow me to.
I just saw your message, Quentin. Paimon is done with this tsundere. I was like, not this again. Could you all just finally admit your feelings of each other, please?
Oh, so now you finally got your priorities in order. I guess I'll hold off until you've properly recovered as well. What about you, Miss Furina? Any future plans?
Well, frankly, I think a return to obscurity is no longer an option for me. I'm sure a slew of consultancy requests will hound me wherever I go, until I finally acquiesce. You rather sealed my fate there with your special thanks at the end of the show.
Sorry.
It's quite all right. No need to apologize. What I meant to say is that this whole experience has shown me that perhaps I'm not as averse to a return to the stage as I previously imagined. Maybe Nervilette was right. Maybe Cleo is the right role for me. I still don't wish to pretend to be someone else, but I do have a desire to express myself. So, maybe the show will go on for me after all.
Yeah, just do whatever feels right to you. That's what matters.
Yeah. There was once a time when I was an actress in a masquerade, seeking only to hide the truth. But from now on, I want to spend my time learning real stories about real people and how they touch the lives of others around them. I want to watch them blossom and wither, see them refined on the page, retold on the stage, and remembered long into the future. I'm sure this is what captivated director O'Reilly as well.
Sounds like you're ready to stop running from your true calling. The more you get out into the world, the more you'll discover what a fascinating place it is.
Next time, I'll invite you to join me.
Then it's a deal. If a vision is a gift from the gods, then I should do my best to honor it.
Oh, that's the end! Ah! The end!
My favorite part for you is she could walk on water indefinitely. I mean, there's a limit, but yes. I like that. I saw a few people talking about it online a bit, but I do really like how this quest kind of still shows, because like with Focalors, when it came to the Archon quest, her whole thing was like, she loves humans and she loves the human experience, right? We could see that in Furina now, now that she's not hiding, that she just loves hearing stories about people and figuring out their experience and human emotions and such. And I think that's really fun to see in action instead of hiding. There's a limit. Yes, it's as long as her companions are out, as long as her skill lasts. Like, I guess indefinitely, you can just keep spamming the skill and then it will be indefinite. I think that's what you're trying to say and I misinterpreted it, so that's my bad. But if you don't do that, it'll eventually go away.
Ironic to think that in my whole time as a god, I could only ever dream of receiving this kind of power. And now that the gods have given me their blessing, it actually feels more like I'm finally able to take my fate in my own hands. Is that how humans feel about it as well?
Ah, I'm so happy for her. Like, nothing can take away what she's gone through, but I'm just happy that things are turning around for her.
Now that the buzz is worn off, I feel ready to pass out.
Me, after every performance, I always got sick whenever the performances I was part in were done. She's the best eye whisperer. She really is.
I'm just finishing packing up. As soon as I'm done, I've got an interview with the Steambird to get to.
Oh, snap!
Thanks to all your help, this show was more perfect than we ever could have hoped for. But most of all, I want to thank you for giving me the chance to finally say farewell to Aurelie.
Yeah. You too.
I mean, of course I have some regrets, but...
There'll be plenty of opportunities in the future for us to tell the stories that we want on stage.
Aw. You've been in the background this whole time. Are you the prop person?
Thank you so much. I feel like I've rekindled the passion I had when I first joined the troupe. It might turn out to be too little, too late for me. But still, this has been the experience of a lifetime.
Ah! Musicals! Musicals! I love musicals so much. And Furina, you did amazing too. Look how fabulous she is. Just so good. Ew. Ew. She's just been in the background this whole time. Man, that was great. I definitely could see... I saw a lot of people saying, like, they liked Furina at the end of the Archon quest, but then they liked her even more after the story quest. And, I mean, it makes sense, right? Seeing it in person, it's like, oh yeah, you only got, like, a fraction of it, and then the character story quest is when you get to really see what she's about. But, like, going through it, like, I could really, really see it, too. It's just so nice. It accomplished what I wanted, because we found out that Furina had a different side of her, and we only got, like, a snippet of it in the Archon quest. And this is finally the time where we get to see her completely without her mask, just being her. And like, there's definitely parts that you could see in her exaggerated persona. Like, in a way, it still is her, but it's very exaggerated. And it's just so good to actually know what who Furina is,
Astra
truly, instead of just...
Thank you for
yes, she laughs in the face of all those who are beneath her.
Astra Abyssos.
Snippet on her worst day. We did, yeah. We really did get a snippet on her worst day. I'm excited. Although, okay, here's something I was thinking about today. So, you know how every Archon, except Venti, has a second story quest? Here's my question. Are we going to get a second story quest of Furina? Or are we going to get it of Neuvillette? I do wonder. The other thing I was going to say is that Furina's vision is different than all the other ones because she can use both Numa and Usia, right? So it makes me wonder two things. If all the visions Neuvillette are going to give out are going to be both Numa and Usia, or if this vision is special just for Furina herself, you know? I hope both. Dude, honestly, it'd be cool if both Furina and Neuvillette got a second one. I'm sure they all will eventually. I'm sure every character will eventually, but because of how things have trended so far, you know, like Zhongli has 2 story quests, Raiden has 2 story quests, Nahida has 2, Venti probably will have 2, but I imagine that he's super spoilery, so we haven't gotten his second one yet. But I'm like, are we gonna get it for Furina or Neuvillette? I do wonder, because it makes sense for both of them. Maybe they both will. They'll both get a second story quest in honor of what... in honor of them and both of the parts they played in this story. But either way, that is gonna be the end of today's stream, I believe. Who knows? Yeah, I'm excited to find out either way. So, here's my plan. Next week, Thursday, is Thanksgiving. So I'm thinking what we'll do is on Wednesday, instead of Tears of the Kingdom, we'll probably play Honkai Star Rail, I think. Because there's a... chances are I'm not streaming on Thursday, early today. Yeah, and honestly, it's kind of a blessing in disguise because I mentioned yesterday I needed a day. I didn't want to go too late today, to be honest. So it works out perfectly. So yeah, next Wednesday, I think we're gonna actually do Honkai Star Rail instead of Tears of the Kingdom. Especially because they just barely got a new update and there's a new quest to do. So I think it makes sense to do that. I was also thinking of ways to catch up in Star Rail because I have so many companion quests to do. But I'm gonna think on that later. I think that's a conversation for when a Honkai Star Rail stream happens.
Anyway.
Being too popular can be such a
Let's head over to the end screen.
Who knew the people would adore me so
Woo! Alright. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me just double check our things. It looks like there were no alerts today. Perfect. Normally this is when I would raid, but like I mentioned, I'm just a little exceptionally tired today. So I would normally like to raid right now, but I think I'm gonna still treat myself and we're just gonna call it here and I'm gonna get to bed early. All right? So thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good weekend, everybody.
And I literally ran out of tissues during that quest, by the way. I was gonna get another tissue to blow my nose. I'm out. They're gone. Gonna have to get new ones. Anyway,
thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate it. Have a good one. You too. Thank you so much for sticking around. I appreciate it. Take care, everybody.